A sudden decline. But maybe more like 8 months.
I think you're right. Now you got sound.
Okay, guys, hold on. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. FrankDuranHomes.com. Either one will get you there. But the important thing is that you find Frank Duran. And I should say Team Duran. At Remax Alliance, that's where he offices. I'm going to tell you something. You won't find anyone better to list your home and sell it. He'll do a free market evaluation first. In fact, he'll do a free market analysis, whether you want to list it or not, just so you know where you stand in the market. Maybe you want to fix up the house and find out, but you want to find out what it's worth first. He'll tell you what it will sell for based on his 27 years of experience. He's so confident in his service, he doesn't hold you to a long-term contract. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. One of the topics on my show, real estate. Oh, my God, we get a lot of real estate calls. Brad O'Brien is someone we turn to as an expert. I'm telling you right now, if you're going through any real estate transaction at all, commercial or residential, especially if you're buying with a partner, you're not married, or owner financing or anything like that, or any border disputes, eminent domain, adverse possession, utility easements, if you need help, O'Brien Legal Services, here's how to find them. OLS.com. Or 720-370-7388.
Avid golfer Cam Warren played with joy.
What happened to Westminster Mercedes? I really would like to know.
Mercedes has no service. I mean, they used to be great. Way above. Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
Kevin,
Yeah.
I got rid of my Jade, sold it.
Yeah.
And it was worth so fucking much. I got a brand new
between us and them.
Now this had 77,000 miles on it. Yeah. Almost 78,000.
Right.
2014.
Problem right at this room.
Do you know what I got for 5,000 more? A 2022 BMW X7, brand new, M50, big engine, 600 horse. Every option available to man.
Why wouldn't you? Holy shit.
That's how much the used cars have gone up. I have a friend with a used Corvette, 3,000 miles on it. Beautiful. He traded it straight across for a 2023. Now, why would he do that? Do you know why? Here's why. If you sell too much over sticker on the Corvette, Chevy will dry up your allotment. But the used cars,
Beat the crap out of those, and they don't care. And
they're going to sell that used car for more
Yeah, they'll make more money off it
than ordering a new one.
Yeah.
Is that fucking crazy?
So I know a lot of dealerships, right? I heard that they're trying to hammer the market price and stuff, and they're getting pushback from them.
Now, Mercedes isn't putting Mercedes. Okay, every G-Wagon I looked at was at least 100,000 over invoice. 100,000 over invoice.
That's ridiculous.
Now, do you have to have fucking rocks in your head? Okay, I thought I found a deal in Anchorage It had 6,000 miles on it. It was a 2021. That's the latest one. They don't have 22s out. The 2021 with 6,000 miles was 199, and I got him down. Hold on, to 188. Now listen, that's a screaming deal, but I wouldn't fucking do it. That's almost twice as much as what I paid for a new car. They're forcing you out of the game, and I don't make dirt. So Kevin, I don't know who's buying these fucking things at 100,000 over invoice. Would you ever in your Okay, I know Talib. If you were a billionaire, would you pay 100,000 over invoice? I would.
I'd buy the dealership.
I would. No.
Yeah.
I don't.
Buy the.
It's just stupid.
But Tom, all you have to do, you can always just walk away. No one's.
I did.
Yeah, but
there's so many stupid people that have money. I can't believe it. They're not stupid. They just don't care.
Gun to anybody's head to buy a particular car. You always have the option of just walking away.
Yeah.
It's just the mentality of it. It's just, yeah.
Is that a pause for effect that you build into that?
No, it's an EAS test. What the hell is an EAS?
Favorite sale, Murdoch's Ranch.
But
All right.
But it didn't go out over the
This
air.
guy sued his
It didn't go over
company
the
for
air.
$500,000.
Say again.
He got anxiety from the birthday party they threw for him, so he sued the company for $500,000.
That's actually ridiculous.
You're kidding.
He told him I don't want a party. You know?
You're kidding.
No.
Oh, give me a. I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. You were just talking off the air, and I have to tell you something about cars that's true. Some manufacturers will not allow dealers to mark up the price too much. Well, they can't tell them not to, but they penalize them on allotments in the future. For example, Corvettes. Chevy is a pretty honorable company, and they say, we don't mind if you mark up that car a bit on invoice, but you're not going to mark it up like Mercedes does, because Mercedes dealers were marking up G-Wagons by $100,000 or more. $100,000 or more. A G-Wagon. You can't find a new one unless you add $100,000 to the invoice. And Mercedes corporate's not doing anything to discourage it. So I just left Mercedes. And now I've had G-Wagons. I loved them. And I got them way before they became the vogue and popular and status. I just loved them. I have always loved them. In fact, I loved them before they were popular. In fact, people said, why would you drive that box? Why would you drive that box? Okay. And I had my last one. And I'm going to tell you something crazy. 77,000 miles. You know what? That car and $5,000 got me a brand spanking new BMW X7 M50. Think about that. It's upside down world, people. It's upside down world. I have a friend who had a Corvette with 3,000 miles on it. And because Chevy doesn't like dealers marking stuff up too much, but they have no control over used cars, this dealer, remains unnamed, this dealer will order you a new Corvette, but you got to wait up to 6 months, okay? But they'll order it at sticker, right? They might pop you $5,000 above sticker, but they'll never be like the G-Wagon's $100,000 over. But listen to this. This guy, a friend, he's doing it. His used Corvette with 3,000 miles, he's driving into the dealership and leaving with a 2023 swap. Even swap. Does that even make sense?
That's crazy.
The reason he can do it, or a 2022, whatever the newest one is, and I think his is a 21 or a 20. It might be a 20. The reason he can do it is because the Chevy dealers know they can sell that used one for more than a new one.
Because they don't have to wait on the order.
First, people don't have to wait.
Yep.
But the main thing is Chevy has nothing to say about how you price used cars, but they don't want you. Now, I applaud Chevy for keeping their dealers a little in check, not allowing them to pound people over the head too much. But people, it's abusive. It's gotten to a point where when you go out and buy a car, if you can find one at invoice, you feel you've gotten a screaming deal. Lisa, tell us about your Forester. What's going on?
Hi, thanks for chatting with me today.
What's happening?
Well, it's a 2016 Subaru. It's a Forester. It's a 6-speed manual. A couple of months ago, started having a problem getting it into reverse. And, you'd kind of finesse it a little bit, and then it would go. And after a few weeks of this, it just stopped going into reverse. And at the same time, we noticed that it was really hard to get it into sixth to the point where
now this is an automatic,
anymore.
Right? No,
it's a manual.
My God, and why, Lisa? You like manual shifts? You like that, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
My husband and I have both always driven them. They're getting really hard to find.
Yeah, and you can't text. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. When I said that, erase what I just said. Nix that. Okay, so go ahead.
I didn't hear it. What did you say?
I said you can't text.
You can't text. But you know what? They're probably really hard to steal because no one knows how to drive one anymore.
So tell me what's going on, Kevin. What do you think's happening?
Well, I mean, it could be clutch or tranny. Is it easier if the car's not running to put it in and out of gear?
No, you can't. You can't. But here's the thing. We took it to a local, I live in North Carolina now. We bought the car from Dell & Baugh in Fort Collins. We took it to an independent transmission shop, and he took the shifter apart because that was the simplest thing to do. And he called
to see if it was a mechanical problem at the shifter. That's not bad.
Yeah. But he took the shifter apart, and he called my husband and said, "Did you guys ever take this thing apart?" And he said, "No, not to our knowledge." And he said, "Well, there's a spring in this shifter that's not in place. It's just kind of laying there on its side."
Could that have popped out, or is that a service issue?
No, I called Dell & Baugh because that's where we always had the car serviced.
Got it.
And I didn't know what I expected.
Did you buy
to hear
it
from
new,
them.
by the way? Did you buy it new?
Yeah. We bought it brand new.
Okay.
I didn't know what to expect, but I figured I'd start there. And this woman says, "Oh, well, it looks from your service records, it looks like in July of 2017, you came in for something else and said there's a little rattle in the shifter." And we took the shifter apart. Didn't find anything, put it back together. So
you're saying this problem was because of them?
Well, that's what the independent transmission guy here thinks. He's thinking that because it wasn't working properly over the years, over time.
I get it. But how long? Hold on now. This is we call this connecting dots. Lisa, how long ago was that repair they did?
It was July of 2017.
Now listen to what you're saying now. In July of 2017, you had work done, and that work was not reassembled properly. Therefore, you're saying 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, almost 5 years later now, you're saying they should fix something.
Well, what I'm saying is the independent mechanic is suggesting strongly that because this wasn't functioning properly over time, it created damage to the transmission. So,
Lisa, I understand you connecting the dots. What you have is a time problem no matter what. You have a time. I'm not saying it's impossible, but there is no mechanic that I know of on earth that will take a look at something they did 5 years later and take the blame.
Right, and they didn't. So
and I wouldn't expect them to. In fact, I don't think Kevin would. And listen, I'm not putting words in his mouth. Sheridan Auto Tech is one of the finest facilities I know. If someone came to him 5 years later, he would say something like this: "I did that 5 years ago. You had a warranty period. It's over. It's 5 years ago. How many miles? How many times did you shift it? Did you shift it hard? Did you shift it soft? How do we know it wasn't a defective spring? How do we know it was me?" I mean, honest to God. Now, I don't want to put this on Kevin because he didn't tell me that. I'm saying that. But Lisa, I really mean this. You got to be fair about this. It's maybe something that just falls under the category of you know what happens.
Okay, so that's fine. I mean, I'll accept that. I am working with Subaru of America because they do Goodwill.
How many miles? I should have
repairs.
asked that. How many miles?
83,000. Does it seem normal to you that a
No.
brand new Subaru with 83,000 miles should the transmission should go? That's
No.
the thing. It's like,
No, but
what
I don't know how
caused
that spring caused that.
Well, the guy who did the teardown could explain it way better than me because I'm not a mechanic. But one of the things that he did tell me that I understand because I could feel it is when there's a ring that you lift up to put on the shifter to put the car in reverse.
Yes.
That was no longer functioning.
Then how did you put it in reverse?
Well, I couldn't. That's the thing.
No. Hold on. You had this car 5 years since they worked on it. So for 5 years, you couldn't put it in reverse?
No, just recently.
Okay, then hold on.
Problems, and then it completely went out.
Why was it working? Why was it working in the beginning then?
I don't know. Again, this gentleman was saying that
I think the spring was put on there and it popped out.
I don't think that's possible.
Why? So the spring wasn't there at all? It wasn't installed at all? Okay.
No, it was there. It was in the wrong place. It was just kind of like, he said it was on its side.
Then how did it work for 5 years?
I am not a mechanic.
Yeah, I'm not challenging you, Lisa. Here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you by reasoning to find a reason, not to dispel what you're saying, but to try to find something. I mean, I'd love to talk to the mechanic. Do you have their number? We'd love to talk to them in North Carolina. Kelly, see if she can locate that mechanic. I would love to have a conversation with Kevin here on that.
You got it.
Okay, hold on.
Kevin, you were just talking about this. If somebody came 5 years later, I mean, you own the car.
Yeah, I was just on the phone with a woman this week. We put a gearbox in for a body shop that she took her car to for body work 4 years ago.
And what? Now she's having a
Now
transplant.
I almost died and spun out on the highway because of the parts she put on my car.
Oh my! How do you
Spun out on the highway.
Well, she's
Because
calling
the
a
parts
push trailer. It's a Dodge Diesel. She bought her to haul. But yeah. But I'm an uncaring asshole.
I doubt the uncaring part.
Well, you get that right. Unfortunately, I just get to that point where I just shut down. I just can't.
I'm literally a light switch. The older I get, push on me, push on me, and then all of a sudden, I'm getting you up.
And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use code VIDEO at checkout. Blindster.com.
David Ellis Jewelry will buy your metal, your scrap metal. Well, not scrap metal. Let's just say old jewelry. Diamonds. No, not diamonds. I'm sorry, gold. Diamonds don't have any metal in them. Maybe if you had a diamond ring, you take the diamond out. But they'll buy the gold and silver and platinum and any other precious metal you have. And you can trust David Ellis. He's been around 40 years, and I've known him the whole time. I just talked to him yesterday, by the way. And he's at 3rd and Clayton. And what he wants to do is offer you cash on the spot. He'll weigh it and pay it and give you fair pricing. The most important thing is you're not going to be sending it through the mail or through FedEx to some unknown person on the internet. Deal with someone local. Cherry Creek, 3rd and Clayton, David Ellis Jewelry.com, 303-322-8779. If you're looking for a loan, how about Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan if you like these options? First and foremost, the interest rate guarantee. So when you close, for 2 years, if rates go down, if you're waiting for rates to go down, but you can still save a little money, do it. Because if rates go down, they'll refinance you free of charge. And every time you close, you get another 2-year guarantee. Here's something else they do for you. They do a pre-approval if you're out shopping, which is like a cash deal. They like to say first they listen, then they lend. You may have some high-interest debt, And even though mortgages are now around 5%, you might think that's too high. It's not too high to pay off very high interest debt. You can also shorten your term, or you can lower your payment. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
As we age, we...
Did you need something, Kelly?
No, Kevin, I sent my son up to your shop on Havana there.
So the mechanic will be available in 10-15 minutes, so I'd like to free up the line and call Lisa and the mechanic back. But the guy on line 2 was on hold an hour yesterday.
Oh my God! Thank you for telling me that. I'll take it right now.
Yeah. So if you want to come back and break it, take him.
Good experience. Yeah, they're laid back there. There's no high pressure. It's when we, worked out for the body shop. She took it to her friend who has a shop.
Russell Wilson bought a house.
Yeah, right next to Peyton Manning or something.
Did you buy it in
Cherry Hills?
Cherry Hills, of course.
Yeah, 25 or 30 mil or something.
Well, I don't know of any house that would be worth that, but maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
Let's see, there it is. Yeah, that could be. An aerial view. That's nice.
You know what I learned yesterday after being alive, driving a car for 60 years?
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that windshield wipers were 2 different sizes.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Most cars.
What? You never knew that?
I thought they were both the same size.
Well, 20 years ago, they were both the same size.
Yeah, they're all the same size.
2 18s, 2 16s, whatever. Now you have one of the shorter ones. Windshield wipers. One's longer than the other.
Did you know that, Tom?
I never knew that ever. Yeah. Right now they
I
are.
just learned that yesterday.
The arm or the blade?
No, the blade.
The blade on the driver's side is like 22 to 24.
I learned something new today. Never knew that.
Passenger side
I just learned
2
that
to 4
yesterday.
inches shorter.
Why?
Because you get a bigger sweep for the driver than the passenger.
You know
so
what?
You get more than halfway over for the driver.
See, you learned something today too. I just learned that yesterday. And that's it. Like say after driving for 60 years.
Yeah. No, but sure, 20 years ago they weren't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why now? Oh, because
of the new windshields.
New windshields and safety features. Yeah.
My last one had one. They had one huge.
I remember those
right
days.
Oh yeah.
And that puppy just sweeps like.
It basically moves the overlap over out of
I
the driver's view.
often thought there must be a better way, like maybe some air current or something.
Exactly. Yeah, because especially Colorado, as hot as it gets, the wipers are good for like a month, and then they start streaking. So you spend $20 a piece for them, and it goes.
No, the technology in wiper blades sucks.
Yeah.
But I would think though, seriously, if you had, first of all, heated windshields to me are a must. But if you had a way to air, literally air,
yeah.
or
like
air
a
jets,
little film over it, just
air jets from the top down
yeah.
along the strip, you could direct air jets that would blow away.
Sure.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Genesis Total Exteriors. For the exterior of your home, you will love Genesis. For everything from roofing, gutters, siding, windows, doors, decks, painting, and they do solar. With a 25-year guarantee on their solar components plus performance guarantees you need to know about. Genesis TotalExteriors.com. In this day and age of bad home remodelers, please remember Genesis, 303-679-8509. Off the air, we're talking about windshield wipers and the technology and how terrible they are. In general, they're terrible. Why can't they make a better technology? Like, first of all, do they have heated blades so they don't ice up? I don't like, because how many times have you had to stop, reach your arm around and slam the thing on the windshield to break up the ice? Don't they have heated wiper blades?
Very few do. It's not very.
Okay, and then the other thing, what about air currents maybe instead of a wiper blade that could blow air on your windshield or first of all, heated windshields are good, but then we talked about wiper blades. They just don't work. But Kevin told me something I never knew. He said one is longer than the other. One arm and one blade is longer than the other. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah. It just, if you think about it, the seam where the two come together is in the driver's view. So they just moved it over to the right. The passenger they don't care about. He has to look through it.
But I will tell you a universal truth with windshield wipers in a winter storm. Mostly a winter storm. It'll always ice up and cause a streak right in front of your eye line. No matter how tall or short you are. It knows where you are, and that ice line goes right where you're looking.
The bug finds you.
And it's crystal clear below and above it. And the passenger is always clear. I don't understand it.
That's a universal truth. There's no.
I swear to God, everybody knows that. That ice, that little glare is going to be right in front of your eyes. Everybody is shaking their head yes right now. Now, why is that? Why does that happen? Anyway, let's keep going. David, welcome to the show. We're going to have that mechanic on from back east to talk about this and see about that Subaru. Right now, David, go ahead. What's happening, David? Welcome. David?
Hello?
Hey, what's happening?
Well, back in early January, I had some tile removed due to the asbestos in the mastic, and it was performed by D&K Works. And
now, what did they do? B&K removed tile, or they installed it?
They removed it.
And why were you having the tile removed?
Because we pulled up a carpet due to it was just a very old, torn-up carpet to begin with, and then our aging dog had some incontinence issues.
But what does that have to do with the tile? What does that have to do with the tile?
Okay, well, you asked me why I removed it. So anyway,
I asked you why you removed the tile.
The tile.
The tile was under the carpet?
The tile was under the carpet.
Okay, now I understand. I'm sorry, David. Go ahead.
Okay, so then due to the age of our house, which was built in '67, and it being 9-inch tiles, I had I suspected there may be asbestos in the tiles. Took some samples down and had them tested, and there was no asbestos in the tile, but there was in the mastic. So
I get it. I get it.
D&K to get the work done.
Okay, got it.
My main issue is that they used a solvent for removing the mastic that should not have been used in an enclosed space.
Now, who told you that?
I'm looking at the material safety data sheet, and under precautionary statements.
And so you tested for asbestos. You know for sure that the mastic or the glue had asbestos in it, right?
Yes. Yeah, it had tested.
Now, and was this company, B&K, when they found out there was asbestos, did they say, "Don't worry, we have the EPA certification to do this"?
That is their job. That's basically their job, is asbestos.
No, okay. Is that what B&K? That's what I want to know. Are they a remediation company?
Yes, that's what they do.
Okay.
But they did not do the testing. There was another company that did the testing.
Okay, but they're not a tile company, B&K. They're a remediation company.
Yes.
B&K.
D&K.
D, as in dog. Okay.
Correct.
Got it. So, okay. So why would they use something? I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, you looked it up.
I know. That's ridiculous. And,
so anyway, what was the result? What harm resulted right now? What are we calling about now?
Okay, well, the reason I'm calling is that since, I was told that the smell would go away.
Oh.
It is not. I had them come back out and clean the floors again. They said they did it the first time, and I doubt that they did.
So you haven't relayed carpet down or anything on this. You just
no.
Right now. What do you have now? Do you just have bare floors right now?
Yeah, I have bare floors, and they had come back out a second time, and they cleaned supposedly using Simple Green, which has a very strong odor to it, and I then spent a day trying to mop that up to get the smell of the simple green out, and then that minimized that. And finally, that smell went away, but the smell of the solvent remained. And so we've been going through all the steps that we can think of: opening windows, installed a fan.
All right, hold on a second. Just hold on a second. I want to call one of our restoration companies for some advice. Hang on, David. Let's call American Restoration and talk to Rock if he's around, please. We need to find him. Hold on.
Get the Rock. He'll know how to get rid of it.
Smells good.
Not when it's all you smell. Not when it's all you smell.
Yeah. It's weird. One of my techs never got his smell back from having COVID.
It's like Suzanne. She's still struggling.
Yeah. So he kind of back and forth. I mean, sometimes you need to smell something in the car, but other times it's the best thing in the
Not to
world.
have smell or taste.
You can taste a lot of stuff, but smell
Usually
doesn't
they go
look
hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of what you taste is
Smell.
the aroma.
Sure. Yeah.
So Tom, when we come back on, talk to Lucy, because I promised her we'd get to her today.
It's everybody's favorite sale. Murdoch's Ranch and Home Supply Bucket Sale is this Saturday.
And the sky was down.
Did we have her on before?
No. She called a couple of weeks ago
Or check out Murdochs.com for
About
all
what?
the bucket sale.
about a problem with.
Hey, if you're looking for carpeting or you're looking for
hardwoods of any kind or LVT, you can go to simplyfloorsinc.com. That's INC, simplyfloorsinc.com, because what you'll find first, the expertise you want to help you pick the right floors, and design consultants to help you even pick the colors and design and patterns for your project. Free of charge, all of that service added. And they have the best installers in the business. But what I really love is their pricing. They're part of a big buying group of independent stores, and Simply Floors might be small, but they have pricing that can beat even the big guys. Simplyfloorsinc.com. Make your own appointment. Ideal Home Loans has a pre-approval program I've talked about before, like a cash deal. In this market right now, if you're out looking for a home, you're going to have to compete with a lot of buyers, some of them cash buyers. You don't have to have any contingencies when it comes to funding because you've already been approved. Think about that. No loan deadlines, nothing. You just go in and say, this is what I want. And if the house appraises, you got the house. IdealHomeLoans.com with their pre-approvals. A wonderful place to be. Also, they have interest rate guarantees. If you close and rates go down, you didn't miss the boat. So there's no reason to wait. Even if you can save a little money right now, close and get a 2-year guarantee. So if rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. And every time you close, you get another 2-year guarantee. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. Pick whatever term you want, cash out, lower terms, shorter terms, or lower payments, your choice. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. Your local.
No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent.
I don't get what they mean by that.
And tell Congress to protect local radio stations.
What does that mean?
What?
This I don't know what
Protect
this
them from what?
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s,
What were you questioning, Tom?
What that commercial was about? It was
cleaning your nose,
talking
So
about
protecting local radio stations
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine.
Blow that
It's more
bad
like
boy.
plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply. And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better.
And remember that today is not tax day. Tax day is Monday.
Yeah, today's Good Friday.
That Washington has a local holiday, they're saying.
Oh, I didn't
Washington,
see
D.C. is shut down for Emancipation Day.
Clean nose, healthy life.
I didn't hear that.
Locally, yeah.
That's news to me.
That's what I was just reading, because I thought it was Good Friday too, but it's not. It's Emancipation Day in D.C.
Oh, they're getting some more religion out of state.
Yeah, we can't have that. Yeah.
To schedule a complimentary review of your portfolio, call 720-488-8604.
It doesn't hurt any better, any worse, the 15th, 18th, or the 2nd, or, such. I just like to get it over with.
For windows, siding, doors, and more, K&H has what you're looking for. This month, 30% off all windows, Fobia, soft light, or fiber frame fiberglass, and 30% off siding and doors. That's Everlast Siding, the best, most durable in the industry, and Fobia, the finest doors available. Jumpstart your spring at khwindows.com. That's khwindows.com.
Grainberry, Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family.
Grainberry. Grainberry.
Grainberry cereal. I'm Peter Harris with Breaking News. Our Grainberry cereals are packed with tons of plant-based fiber and more than 6 times the amount of antioxidants found in blueberry. Great tasting Grainberry with amazing on its sorghum starts with lower sugar than other cereals and uses only whole grain.
Lower sugar than other sugars.
Is that what they said?
Is that what I don't know. Maybe I wasn't listening good.
Try it for yourself. Grab a box of Grainberry Bran Flakes, Honey Nut Toasted Oats.
Might have said lower sugars than other cereals.
Something like that.
I hope so.
Yeah. These NFTs, do you understand these at all?
I understand them, but
what people are spending the money on, I don't get it.
Hey, did you know epoxy coatings are sensitive to UV, slippery when wet, and have a long drying time, give off fumes, trap moisture? But polyaspartic, the new, more high-tech garage floor, and you can get that at GarageMagic.com. 21-year guarantee. They also have all employees, no subs, extensively trained and insured. GarageMagic.com. Call for special Martino pricing, 720-600-HOME. 720-600-HOME. All right. So we have a discussion now that we're wondering about, and I'm trying to get Rock. Oh, there he is. Rock is from American Restoration. That's AmRest247.com, or American Restoration, which is the name. And, the reason I like him is because I've known him for a long time, and he knows his stuff. 8337-AMREST is his number. They're a remediation company. They're a restoration company. Means they stop damage, they get rid of dangerous stuff, and they also can help you rebuild. But the reason he's on the air now is because we had a question about some tile removal. David had some tile removed at his house, and a company came out, a remediation company, D&K, came out and removed tile. It was installed in 1967. The tile had no asbestos in it, but the mastic did, the glue. First, Rock, have you heard of these glues that have asbestos in them?
Yes, I have.
Now, David says they used a solvent to remove the mastic, and that was the wrong way to do it in an enclosed space. But before you comment on that, Rock, David, you were reading that that a solvent is the wrong way. What would have been the right way?
Well, I'm not saying that using a solvent was the wrong way. It's the solvent that they used in a enclosed space. Because in the material safety data sheet, it says on sheet 2, it says to use only outdoors or in a well-ventilated area. And then it's got all sorts of other...
So are you alleging, David, that there are solvents that could have been used safely?
Yes, there are some soy-based solvents and further research after.
Okay. All right, David, hold on. Now, Rock, he said as a result of using this solvent that there is a terrible odor they can't remove. Have you heard of this?
Yes. Now, specifically, did he request that no? No, they would have had to obtain a permit, do the work the way that they did. If they obtained a permit to remove the mastic, and the state okayed it, that would be,
Yeah. Well, that's a good question, David. Did they get a special permit to remove this asbestos?
No.
They did it without a permit?
Yeah, they took a shortcut.
How many square feet?
281.
Wow, 281 square feet. And, I can research this and make sure that if a permit was pulled, and did you sign any type of agreement that would say it was opt out or anything like that? That you would opt out of doing a permit?
I don't think according to the EPA you can opt out of things like that, but maybe you can.
Yeah,
well, you can opt out of different levels. If you are not planning on selling the house right away and it's not a public space, then you can opt out of a different level.
Did you opt out?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so he did opt out, which means, okay, so let's forget about the permit and let's get right to this, Rock. How do you get rid of the odor?
You might have to come in with a different type of solvent and, venting, something to kind of remediate the smell, or you can, sometimes just the ventilation, and time, it kind of depends on what you want to do.
They use Simple Green, and then Simple Green left an odor, and then he had to wait on that. And when the Simple Green odor went away, the solvent odor came back. I suspect it soaked into the floor.
That may be the case. It is a porous material. If he did now, we'd have to research it and just kind of see what type of, how much,
David, what part of town? David, what part of town are you in?
Albin, Boulder.
Oh God, I don't know if you ever get up there, Rock, but we have to figure this out. So hang on, David. We're also going to take Lucy, and we're going to take Liz on her Pride Auto 150 coming up.
What?
He's going to have to go up and seal the floor.
Concrete? That possibly, yeah. He's going to have to ventilate.
He's going to have to seal it, though.
Ask Rock to hang on.
Seal it?
Kelly, ask him to hang on.
I think it's wood. Is it a wood floor, Tom?
What's that, sir?
His floor, is it wood?
Well, I imagine. Well, what would it be?
I don't know if it's in the basement. It's concrete.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. Well,
some sort of.
And also, David.
And ventilate. He's gonna have to ventilate it because no matter what he does, if it stays enclosed, whatever smell is there is going to be there.
And not only that, it might go into other things. Man.
Exactly. That's the point I'm ventilating.
We'll have a stogie party in that room.
Oh man, that'll be okay. See, we won't mind. we won't mind.
So my girlfriend always tormented me. Everybody smoke that goddamn thing. You leave it smell. Yeah, I know. It smells good.
Rich.
Yeah.
Such a rich aroma. Rich, full aroma.
It's just something about nighttime to sit out on the patio.
Wall Street Journal, 4-letter words flying in the workplace. What are y'all talking about?
ABC News, I'm Andy Peter. Just days after a man opened fire on a subway in Brooklyn, New York City's mayor, Eric Adams, made tribute.
And I'm just kind of like, so what? I mean, seriously?
And people need to learn and not take shit personal. Just
no, there isn't that, man. I'm just
don't.
Frank James remains in jail.
I'm seriously getting closer and closer to pulling the plug. Between employees and customers this year, I mean, it's just. It's crazy. I don't know what the hell is going on.
No, the last 2 years have just exacerbated everybody's
started to
inequity show. All your little personal stuff is now pointed.
Oh. I got two mechanics that I swear they're like 9 years old. You know, and it's just, I go back to them. They're both big dudes and big, you know, rough and tumble, and it's just like, go out back, hook it out. My God, what is wrong with you?
Take some boxing gloves up in there. Hang them on the wall, and when they start talking that smack again, grab the
One
gloves.
guy hit the other guy's keys for his truck. I mean, that kind of shit.
His keys are.
Couldn't find him.
Where my keys at? Lost my keys. Can't find my keys.
Son of a bitch, and he's looking all over for him and this and that. And, you know, ended up leaving his truck there overnight. You know, going to come back with a spares. Fucking, my wife works a couple months. Couldn't get me. You know, and then mysteriously the next morning,
they were there, hanging on the knob.
You know, that kind of was begging. It's just like, and everybody knows. So then he's got to one up him. You know, that kind of just childish stuff. But it's affecting him. It's affecting work. It's affecting everybody else.
I find that could be something that just kind of goes on in clusters of mechanics.
Well, there's no say. You know the difference between a puppy and a mechanic? Well, eventually the puppy will stop whining.
Oh, that's funny.
It's true, but it's true. You know.
Eventually the puppy will stop whining.
The mechanics are always, you know, how come he got that job? You know, I'm better at that than he is, and I got stuck with this, and he got his
man.
It's like, come here, just a little closer. I get back to work. Yeah.
You're talking about it, but I used to witness it when I would visit Mark at his good years.
Yeah.
You know, I sit back and just watch him.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll try to get Mark to tell you this story next time he's in here. But we're out at Mark's house one night, and he's having a get together, and all of his employees are there. Well, my wife starts ribbing on one of them.
For what reason?
Okay. Okay. He comes in. Two guys come in. Right. Okay. And they came in together. They rode up there together, but they weren't together. But they came together.
Yeah, came the same car, sure.
My wife wouldn't let them get out of it. Okay. Simply because one of them dropped something, the other one picked it up and threw it away. Okay. One of them sitting over here and says to the other one, give me a beer, and he gets him a beer. And my wife is like, oh shit, I'm about to have a ball with this. And if you when Mark tells you the story, he'll tell you that for hours she had that dude ready to fight. He was mad. He stood up at one point and looked over at me and said, Talib, get your wife.
If she don't shut up, I'm going to hit you. Yeah.
He would have made it home that night. Everybody in the party was enjoying it.
Well, some people just can't take, you know.
No, he could. No, but it goes to what you were talking about your text.
Yeah, yeah.
He was just that was all of 7 years old.
Yeah.
Not even 9, man.
Yeah.
7.
And I've been doing
with
your wife kind of impish. Does she like to stir it up a little? Does she love getting a rise?
Her and Mark in the same room, I leave. Oh, but she got him good one day though. He was over there talking trash and we were having word wars or something or other, and Mark said to her, make up a word. Tell me a word. No, tell.
He hung up. David.
Okay, well, I'll still get Brock.
You still want to talk to Rock? Okay, I told Rock to hold.
That's all right if David up, and it's his loss.
I know. That's what I'm basically trying to say. We're trying to help you. We're getting, and he just didn't want to hold anymore.
All right.
So
my wife, I was talking about, I forgot.
seeing Mark in this.
Yeah, Mark was having word.
We're having word wars. So Mark is talking about there's no words that he doesn't know.
More words you don't know.
Okay.
And that's how he would say it. You don't know.
You know the line, okay? But anyway, so he
slaughters the fucking language.
He looks over at her and he says, "Make up a word I don't know, or tell me a word I don't know." She looks over at him and says, "Assling." Okay. He looks at her and says, "Use it in a sentence or make
I can rip off 25 words in a row. He would.
Oh yeah. Okay. He says, "What's the definition?" Okay. She says, "The youth of an ass." And then use it in a sentence. Mark, you're asking. It was hilarious. That's my bad.
Tom Martino. Hey, I'm Tom. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Some of you with me 40 years or more. Wow. But it doesn't matter how long you've been with me. Just spread the word. We can solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. Harris Family Law is a divorce firm or family law firm. I don't like to say divorce firm, but they take the heat out of it. They do collaborative law. That's very important. Remember that term, collaborative law. They will get the other party to agree to it, the other attorneys, if there is one, to agree to collaborative law because no one wants to run up costs, right? So they agree not to file anything and to talk everything out, to do it all out of court, except the final decree, of course. 303-515-5000. Call Harris and talk about collaborative law. Also talk about unbundled services. You may want to do some legwork and have them work on just some of the divorce, or they can do the whole thing. HarrisFamilyLaw.com, 303-515-5000. All right, Rock is with American Restoration. Now, Rock was talking about asbestos removal. A gentleman had his asbestos mastic, which is the glue for his tile, removed underneath the tile. And Rock was surprised they didn't get a permit. But the bottom line is this. When mastic is removed and it has asbestos in it, you have to use certain materials to get it off, to contain it and get rid of it. But it left behind a terrible odor. Rock, I suspect that this solvent dwelled too long on a wood floor and possibly absorbed. Would there be anything you can do to get that out? And Rock was not, by the way, the company that did it. We're just asking him as an expert. Go ahead, Rock.
You have to see what the active ingredient is in the mastic remover that they used, and then you can kind of come in that direction. But, with wood is very porous, and if it's wood, the probability of it coming out, heating wood up and venting, the probability is greater that the smell would go away. In contrast to, say, like a cement.
Oh.
Which would be harder to have, an odor go away. But wood, you crank up the heat a little bit, you vent it for a certain period of time, and then you could even kind of, like a stain could kind of come in.
Yeah, we were going to ask you, can you seal it?
Yes, you could. You can probably seal it, maybe possibly with a polyurethane or something like that. Because if it's been cleared, you can. I wouldn't do any more rubbing on it. What I would do is I would look at like heating it up. Maybe coming up with another type of solvent on top of it.
Yeah.
Just soaking it up with a wet vac.
Yeah.
Dry vac.
Now, hold on a sec here. I want to ask Larry. He happened to call in. What do you think, Larry?
Well, your restoration guy is right on when it comes to volatile type solvents that give off odors like that. I'm retired now, but I owned a business that sold to professional carpet cleaners and restoration companies for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
And that was a common problem that would come up. And my suggestion was, and it worked quite well, is close up the room or the house, turn the heat up, get that room up to about 110 degrees if you can, open up the windows, get some air movers in there, and you'll speed up this evaporation of that solvent odor.
That's really a good idea, Larry. Yeah. And hold on. I'm sorry, Larry. Go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I said if he does that and gets some good results of a diminished odor, do it again. I mean, what you're doing is speeding up that evaporation.
No, very, very good. What do you think, Rock?
I tend to agree with him. Now,
Good.
one thing now, let's say if it's depending what the solvent is, toluene, benzene.
Yeah.
You could probably do an air test. You could see what the levels are, and for the most part, over time, like a new car, it's really a vinyl. That's the vinyl C, double bond C, single bond C.
Yeah.
That's what you're smelling in a new car, and eventually that goes away. That's a volatile substance. So you like that new car smell for a while.
Yeah.
But it does go away.
Yeah. Now, Rock, I always tell people they can call for information even before they hire you. They call you to see if you can do it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that's American Restoration 24/7, 8337-AM-REST is his number. That's AM. It stands for American Restoration, 8337-AM-REST. Thank you, Rock. Appreciate the information. 303-713-TALK. I'm going to go to people who have been waiting a while, and I promise you I'll get to all of you. You can clear up line 4, Kelly, and let's take Lucy. Lucy, thank you for waiting. Lucy, what's going on with you? Now, Deputy Doc, did you work with Lucy Now, is it after she called the show or was it before?
No, after she called the show.
Okay, so let me look up her problem. So, Lucy, how are you doing? And can you tell us what your original problem was? You bought a condo, right? It was like a $400,000 condo?
Yes, correct.
And the punch list from the dealer, from the builder, you said there was one thing that bothered you. That sliding door kept popping and crackling when it slides. They inspected it. We had an expert inspect it and said the installation was fine, but oddly enough, the door panel was warped.
Correct.
And I want to thank K&H Home Solutions for doing that inspection for us. And so what happened then, Lucy?
So really good news. And thank you, Ted, also for the inspection. But Deputy Doc gave me a call yesterday, and I told him that there was good news. So right before Doc's call, I received a call from Century Communities. They immediately committed to not only fixing the one panel sash that's bowed and has been on order for months, but also they're looking into like the door frame and evaluating if any other work needs to be done other than the sash.
You're getting action. That's the important thing.
Oh, but it's all due to your company. And so they assured me that they are escalating with the original door company, who they did not renew a contract with. And they're also escalating within the builder to get a resolution as to which party is liable.
We love it.
The doors to
We love this information. We really do. And thank you for letting us know. We want you to stay in touch with us because it's important, Lucy.
I will. So this is how the story moves on, which is encouraging. They said they are working on it and will come up with a resolution. They said there have been many changes to their organization in terms of staff.
Good. Yeah.
And, some chaotic issues that they've experienced within their company, and they apologize for not getting issues resolved.
Good. And Lucy, and I believe that, here's the deal. A lot of companies are going through some rough times, but Deputy Doc, good work. I'm going to pull out my dinger again. There it goes. Everyone, by now, that's good news. The dinger's good news. And some people don't like it.
You're despicable.
But I think it's good because the dinger denotes good things. Okay? So anyway, if you ever want help, you give us a call and we'll get all of our deputies on it. Oh, God. Once I get in that sound effects box, you can't get me out. Anyway, let's move on. Stop. Remember Benny Hill? God, what a terrible show. But it was addicting, wasn't it? I don't know what the hell it was. He was crazy. Benny Hill. Anyway, 303-713-8255. Okay, so what is the issue here? Oh, we have the Subaru transmission guy on. Oh my God, thank you. Let me take this real quick. Tommy, thank you for coming on. You looked at this Subaru, and this Subaru was done. This Subaru came from a dealer here in Denver, Colorado, or excuse me, up in Boulder, Colorado, or up north in Colorado. And the bottom line is, the owner, Lisa, said that they were responsible for a failed transmission. But the problem is the repair they made on that was 5 years ago. Do you see a connection, Tommy, after 5 years?
When it comes to problems of this nature, it can be kind of hard to say what happened because it's something that happened from 5 years ago. The only thing I know is that the way the shifter was assembled from the top was incorrect, and it was affecting the lockout.
Could you see for sure that it had been assembled wrong and did not go wrong?
Yes. I actually have my technician with me right now. He said that the spring was actually inserted improperly, so therefore the lockout couldn't function.
No, it's no way for the spring. It works that way by itself.
Okay, so
couldn't be in a position that it was in naturally.
All right, it couldn't be naturally in that position. So the result of that then, over time, would have been what?
Well, without the lockout working, basically it was really hard to go from fifth to sixth gear because it was opening the door for you to actually go into reverse.
Yeah.
Now, you can't physically get the car into reverse while you're driving, but you're stressing that whole gear mechanism right there.
So that is something that could theoretically work for a period of time, but then all of a sudden fail.
The point is, if you are able to put reverse when you are in fifth, or at least put the handle at the spot or engage reverse. Obviously, it's not going to engage reverse, but the transmission is going to grain and let you know, no, you're trying to put reverse.
But I guess the bottom line, though, theoretically, it could last a long time before finally failing.
In this situation, it lasted about 5 years, but a lot of it really depends on what situations you put it through. So theoretically, it can. It's better if you know the issue. But
Well, no, I understand that. What we're trying to establish, does she have a case against that dealer? And obviously, she'd have to make a connection to a repair 5 years ago. In Colorado, the law doesn't necessarily go back to the time the repair was done. It goes from the time she discovered the defect. So she just discovered it.
Right.
She may have. What is it going to cost to fix?
Well, those transmissions are CVT transmissions, so they're very expensive.
No, it's not a CVT, that one. That's
a manual, I'm sorry. They're standard transmissions. These days, most transmissions fall somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000, depending.
Okay.
That is Subaru. That's straight from Subaru. So that's, obviously, you're talking about a brand new transmission to put into it.
If you're going to buy one from Subaru, you're talking something a lot more.
Yeah, well, she wouldn't be entitled to a brand new one. She'd be entitled to one that she had. So, can you find used transmissions for that?
Yeah, sometimes sure. Sometimes they're not easy to find.
Manuals are becoming phased out over time.
And where are you guys located at Pro Built?
We're in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Well, nice meeting you guys. Thank you very much. I have some ideas coming right up for her. Stay on, Lisa. How many miles on it now?
87, 88,
something like that. Yeah.
So that transmission might go at best 150.
Yeah. So they're halfway.
Halfway.
Yeah.
Maybe they should chip in. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So I know what he's saying. It's.
If you have an insurance claim of any kind, fire,
flood, hail damage, wind damage, the fringe of the fire with soot, ash, smoke damage, whatever it is in your house, frozen pipes from the past winter, whatever. Don't ever go through any kind of a claim without at least consulting a public adjuster. Do you know this show is one of the only places in media that promote public adjusters? They work for consumers, not for insurance companies. Public adjusters. So I urge you to call Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado for a free look at your claim. They'll look over your claim and tell you if they can help you. And if they say they can help you, and they'll be honest, you'll recover way more money with them than you can on your own for a small contingency fee. It'll make you whole and sometimes put money in your pocket for depreciation or site allowances. What you need is to consult them. Even if you had a claim recently closed and you weren't treated fairly, they can actually reopen it. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, a free look at your claims. COClaims.com. That stands for Colorado. COClaims.com. 720-715-0000. True number. 720-715-0000. Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. What makes it ideal? I like to use this example. It's ideal first because you get, listen to this, a 2-year guarantee that if rates go down by just 0.75%, they'll refinance you free of charge. So those people who think they missed the boat, no, you can refinance. And if rates go back down again, maybe after midterms, who knows, you get refinanced free of charge. A 2-year guarantee every time you close. Plus, you do a pre-approval, it's like a cash deal. You know if you go out and buy right now, boom, they can close you within days of finding your house and appraising it. Okay, what's the other thing they do? They can do credit optimization. Even though you're approved for a loan, they might have you pay down a balance on a credit card by just $100 or $200 to save you even more money on the loan itself because it puts you into a better credit tier. To find out more, why not call Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan, 303-867-7000. What's...
Oh, fuck this spot. Fuck this spot.
1800s and brushing your teeth.
How much time?
1900s. Isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all,
Are you guys done with Lucy? Are you done with Lucy?
No, I first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like spot. Navage uses powered suction.
Is that what it was?
No, I don't know. I have no clue.
Back of the nose where germs can get trapped.
I think it was more the time.
And then out the other nostril, flushing out.
May have been a similar thing.
So you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself
those transmissions were super
easy to
cheap.
use Navage is.
Are they really?
Navage.com, Walgreens,
3,
CVS,
4,
Red
500.
Bath, and Target.
For
Navage,
transmission?
clean nose, healthy life.
Wow.
For over 150 years, CIBC has helped people go from where
They
they
were calling
are
6
to where
speed. They had 5 and 6 speeds, so.
to going national. From
Okay,
generating
keys nationwide, they could ship one there.
At CIBC, we believe a bank should take you from where you are to wherever you want to be. CIBC, ambition green. CIBC Bank USA member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during
I
taxes.
remember my.
So much sensitive.
I know my older son learned how to drive a stick shift. The youngest one
Social security number?
is 24.
He's been stolen.
He might have learned, but I don't know on what car.
I made sure my son.
Oh, that's a must.
I started.
Yeah, well, we call it the millennial security system now, because any millennial, you can leave your keys in the car and they can't steal it. They can't drive it, you know.
I started in a truck, and one of my dad had a little old MG, one of his ran that little MG.
What happened here?
I
spilled some.
Fuck, am I that stupid?
I certainly don't know.
I didn't even realize I did that.
My first was a 65 bug.
Oh, my first was a 64 bug.
Yep.
Your first was what?
My first, no, actually, my first car was a 61 Ford Falcon. I murdered that bad boy. My next car was a 64.
I inherited my mom's 62 or 64 Pontiac Catalina. It was giant, but I think I had no choice, right? I took that old car, and then I bought some shitty cars in my day. I remember getting fucked over, too.
I had a 1956 Pontiac convertible.
Oh, yeah.
My first car.
Hi, Tom Martino, your... Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-8255. Silverleaf Mortgage for your reverse loans. Silverleaf, with a heart towards seniors to help them through the process. A reverse loan is where you live off equity or take it in a lump sum, or you can do monthly payments or a line of credit with no tax consequences and never being upside down in that loan if done the right way. Silverleaf Mortgage, good people. Give them a call. They even have a nonprofit that helps get your house fixed if you need to before the appraisal. 720-REVERSE. 720-REVERSE. If you need to ask questions, 720-REVERSE. Now, let's talk. Today's car day. We've had a lot of car questions, and I think I have an idea. I think of an idea for Lisa. Lisa, you know,
yeah,
they changed my mind a bit. Here's what I think, okay? But you're going to have to understand the consequences, or not the consequences, the risk. You have a 2016 Subaru. You bought it new from Dell & Baugh. They serviced it, but they serviced it 5 years ago. And when they serviced it 5 years ago, these guys are saying it wasn't assembled correctly. And therefore, over time, that spring worked out and caused a failure. Now, it's a stretch because of the time. But what you'd be looking for is not fraud, but more or less like a breach of contract, like or negligence. Yeah, negligence is a good one. And there's a statute of limitations on that. But the statute of limitations is usually, it's really difficult. Sometimes with negligence, it may not be from time of discovery. You know what we'd have to find out from maybe one of our attorneys what the statute is, because I think with many lawsuits, it's from the time of discovery of the breach, not from the date they did it. But negligence is a weird one. If you're
Tom,
going
can
for...
I interject something?
Yes, go ahead.
So what I didn't get to say is that after I talked to Dell & Baugh, I contacted Subaru of America, and I was speaking with a customer advocate, and she created a case for goodwill, kind of, we'll take care of it thing. That was 4 weeks ago, and I just keep getting kicked around.
They're not going to. Subaru's not going to do anything.
Well, they've already agreed to. The dealership here said it's going to be $870 plus tax and whatever to tear down the transmission and make a diagnosis. Subaru of America has already agreed to cover that.
Good. Here's what's going to happen, okay? They're going to deny it. Okay, just get ready for it, okay? They're going to deny it. Mm-hmm. The reason they're going through this is so you feel a process. Because that 800
created a nightmare in the process. They're not making me happy with that. I've talked to 6 or 5 different.
First of all, it's not Subaru's problem at all. It's all on.
They should just say that up front. And
it's Dell & Baugh's problem. It's Dell & Baugh's problem. If they truly did this the wrong way, what you need to do is very simple. You get the cost of repair, but listen, I need you to know something. They don't owe you a new transmission, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Right.
They owe you a transmission with 80,000 miles on it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair.
Which would be 50% of a new one, approximately. And that's giving them the benefit. So I would say you were robbed of 50% of transmission life, meaning if repairs are going to be $5,000, then you would sue them for $2,500 in small claims court. If repairs are going to be $3,000, you would sue them for $1,500. That's the way I would handle it. So if you're going to let Dell & Baugh tear it down, that's a good idea. Why?
It's in North Carolina.
Oh, wait. She said that they already agreed to tear it. Wait, who's going to tear it down, Lisa?
The dealership here in Wilmington.
Okay, good. So they're going to let the dealership.
Subaru.
Okay, all right. And then
those transmissions are not that expensive for a used transmission.
No. So I would do that one step at a time and get back to us on it, seriously. And then we'll help you go after Dellenbaugh. We really will, if in fact that diagnostic shows that. 303-713-8255. Who did you say waited a long time here? It's Liz. Liz, what's going on? Liz, what's happening?
Okay, my sister had a 2001 F-150. She trusted Pride Auto Care for years and years with all of her vehicles. A little over 2 years ago, they told her it needed catalytic converters. So they charged, I don't know, $6-7 grand, something.
How long ago was that, Liz?
A little over 2 years.
And they charged her $2,000 for that?
No, it was like $6 or $7 grand. I don't know what it was.
What?
She did it.
Okay.
Whatever they charged her, she paid because she trusted them. And then 2 years pass, and this truck hardly ever gets used, just when somebody comes in from out of town. And it started cutting out while they were driving it. So she took it back into Pride, and they said catalytic converters. And she said, you just replaced that 2 years ago. Well, the warranty was a 2-year warranty, and she was just out of warranty. And they again quoted her, I think it was like $7,000. It was a lot. So she said, well, it's not worth it.
First of all, it's not $7,000. So that's out the window. So whatever they're telling you. Okay. So anyway, then what happened?
So she said to me, do you want it? Because I'm not going to pay that money for that old truck. So I took the truck, had it towed to my guy. My guy said it's a fuel pump. He replaced the fuel pump, and I've been driving it ever since.
Oh, man, does that piss me off. Where is Pride Auto?
In Parker. And I called them, and in addition, they had, when we picked it up to tow it, it had a flat tire and a broken wheel, and the spare had been put on the truck. And so I talked to my sister. I said, what was this about? She goes, I don't know. We call them and they go, oh yeah, well, we were test driving it and it was low pressure. And they happened to take a picture of the pressure of the tire, like to prove it, and that it went flat and it ruined the wheel. They finally agreed after I told them, a bunch of stuff. They finally agreed and they replaced the wheel. I had my guy down here in the Springs do the fuel pump, and Leland, the manager of Pride, just swears by his catalytic converter specialist, and he says there's no way they misdiagnosed it. And he said, I even had an email video of the melted catalytic.
But your catalytic converter is fine. You verified it.
Yep. I've been driving it ever since.
That's not what I'm asking.
Okay, you're right. My guy said catalytic converters operating as whatever, as they're supposed to. The only thing he found wrong with it was the fuel pump.
So what shall we do about this? Do you think?
I want people to know, because I've been hearing about catalytic converter robbery and all this kind of stuff, and I thought, well, they must be running some kind of catalytic converter scam.
Man, I'll tell you, there's something going on. That's for sure. There's something going on. And I don't like what I'm hearing. And we should, Pride Auto, I'm going to look into it for possible putting them on the Sleaze Brigade. If they recommend a cat and all you needed was a fuel pump, let me ask you, Kevin, at Sheridan Auto Tech, is there any way they could resemble each other, the symptoms?
Actually, there is.
Oh.
We ran across it it wasn't a Ford, but it was an S10 Blazer, where came in low fuel pressure. The tech didn't do anything, threw a fuel pump in. He drove it for a week, came back, low fuel pressure again.
And it was the cat?
It was the exhaust was plugged. So the back pressure was causing issues.
So it could be.
It's entirely possible.
Not in this case, but it could be that they thought it really was a cat.
I smiled when I heard that, because it kicked our butt the one time.
So it may not be an out-and-out fraud on that one.
303-713-8255. I didn't take that break, did I, Shannon? Okay, so listen. Mohammed wants to talk about insulated windows. Liz wants to talk about, oh, no, we just had Liz on. We have more. Oh, Chris, hang on there about CBD. I'll come back to you.
KHOW Denver, 630 KL.
They got a really good sale in Tennessee right now, too. The tinctures, buy one, get one.
For the
immune drops. Yeah.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
What do you take the drops for?
Well, those particular ones, it's the CBD combined with zinc and vitamin D and all that. They put all of the immune stuff into one.
Oh, that's cool.
Formulation.
You know, to me, a lot with inflammation in my knees and stuff, the CBD.
Oh, good.
It's not a cure, but I notice a difference. And my girlfriend, gardening and stuff, she gets back pain, and we ran out.
That's my email, private.
And that's how we both figured it out. So all of a sudden, my knees. And her back started hurting, and it's like, all right, can't run out.
She takes CBD for her back, too?
She takes it every day. Yeah. Yeah, the full spectrum. Yeah. Just like a vitamin C, don't even. Yeah.
Well, New Jersey just joined the states where recreation.
Okay, guys. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. That'll get you to Blake Harris, or you can call him. And here's what's great about Blake Harris. He does estate planning and estate executions, estate representation, whatever you need, whether it's a simple will, maybe a trust of some kind, or maybe even documents, powers of attorney, prenups, postnups. He can do payable on death certificates for bank accounts that don't need to go through probate, or maybe a beneficiary's deed for a house that doesn't need to go through probate. Whatever it is, he can talk it over with you free of charge. All you have to do is call and ask your questions. Then he'll quote you flat rates for whatever he does for you. 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE. A reverse loan could be in your future if you have equity. If you are 62 or older, in some rare cases, 55 and older, you can call for details. Approval, reverse.com, one of my approved reverse lenders. Joan Sullivan, I've known for years. You can call her at 303-771-3528. Get the lowdown, get the truth about reverse loans. That no, you won't lose your home no matter how much you borrow, as long as you pay taxes and insurance. And by the way, that's like any loan in the world. It's not special to reverse loans. You pay taxes and insurance. The good thing about a reverse loan is you make no payments and you live off your equity and you don't pay tax on that. Approval, reverse.com, 303-771-3528.
These athletes are funny. Only making $120 million, and he's feeling unappreciated.
Who?
One of the basketball players, Hayward, somebody.
Only making
only $20 million, and he's feeling unappreciated.
I'm telling you.
Give me half of that, you can abuse me. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Have your way.
Okay, we're getting complaints here.
About what?
Profanities.
Where?
When we're on our stream. I knew that would happen.
So they're getting out.
But the other half of the crowd annoys it. So what do you do? Yeah.
Yeah, but they're saying that they're going to stop it's not just to me.
Oh, okay.
It's just they're saying iHeart's going to stop your stream and your podcast. And we really have a good podcast, so we have to.
Okay.
We're going to have to. You don't do it.
It is what it is. Yeah, we do it every once in a while, but
we need to rip the pennies out of the podcast as well.
No, he says just
clean it up.
Make it like you're always on the air.
Yeah.
So we just know all we have to do is not swear. which is hard.
The mark.
Yeah, exactly.
How much time they've spent with us, and it's not just me. Read the reviews. People love.
Who sent you that memo? Tim Spence?
So get the great peace of mind while you're
Not just to me, though.
Sign up now for the free live webinar this Saturday morning at 9. Sign up at 525
Well, there's a will, there's a complaint.
That's 525 longtermcare.com.
Well, maybe we can get Elon Musk to buy iHeartRadio, and then we can say whatever we want.
Yeah. No, FCC has something to say about it.
Exactly.
A lot to say about it.
The most.
Yeah. No, it's tough. I mean, it's hard to please everybody, but you do your best. You get most of it. So if that's it's a little.
So my Apple Care, what am I paying Apple Care on? On my iPhone? Fuck that. I'm canceling it.
Oops.
I mean, I've never called on my called in my
You
life.
just cursed again.
Huh?
You just cursed again.
Oh.
Short-term memory loss?
Oh, God.
Definitely a sign of age.
Gosh, I gotta be me. What else can I do?
We got to walk out of the room, bent ourselves.
Man,
and
are these liberals in a tailspin over Musk wanting to buy Twitter? They're afraid he might let Trump back.
Trump. That's all I hear about. Trump.
God, they hate Trump so much. You know what? They don't believe in freedom of speech. People don't believe.
No, they don't believe.
Liberals do not believe.
No.
You know what? They liberals used to be the ones fighting for all of our rights.
Exactly.
When I was younger, that's what we did.
Yeah.
And that's what
They're just the opposite
The
now.
Nazis are allowed.
They want to shut everything down.
Yeah.
And Berkeley is a big example of that. Berkeley used to be the hotbed of liberalism for free speech. And now they won't let anybody who has a conservative viewpoint even give a speech on campus.
God almighty.
It's crazy.
No, academia is really.
Oh,
You can't
it's
even
gone
call
off
it
the
that
deep
anymore.
end.
Because that's not.
It's really funny how it's really funny what they have done.
Well, they even have Bill Maher talking about turning Republican.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Don't forget your insurance checkup, Compass Insurance Group. And by the way, it's not just to see if you're paying too much for insurance, but to see if you're underinsured. That's really is as important. And it's a free insurance checkup. You better do it. You could end up like the people up in the fire and finding out they're underinsured and can't rebuild, like 80% of the people or more. 303-996-9000. On the phone tree, you'll find insurance checkup. Do it. Free. 303-996-9000. Chris has a question about Panacea and CBD. Go ahead. What's going on, Chris?
Hi, Chris. Sorry. I'm sorry. I get nervous. Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry. I get really, really overwhelmed. I'd like to try some CBD to help me feel better. And looking at the website, there are so many options.
Yes.
I don't even know where
All
to
right.
start.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for pain, inflammation? Are you looking for to help your immune system? Or are you looking for anti-inflammatory? Or anxiety? What are you looking for?
Probably pain and inflammation.
And here's the great part, is that all of those things happen with all of those blends, but the reason I ask is how you want to get it into your system. In other words, if you want quick relief for pain or after a workout, you want something that gets into your system quickly. So that would be a chewable like the FAST, it's F-A-S-T, the FAST tablets you chew. And the higher the concentrate, the more you get. And it gets into your system quickly. Now, I chew those things in the morning. They make me feel great before the show, take out some inflammation pain. They're 20 times more effective than ibuprofen or anything like it. Now, if you want something, to just take every morning, it'll take a half a day to really get in your system, and then you build it up. The gel caps is for systemic, maybe anxiety or inflammation. It's not just to take when you have pain, but you take it in the morning like a supplement. Okay. The other one is more like an acute thing. The gel caps are more like systemic. They just go into your system and stay there. I love those too.
So you can take the daily and the chewable?
No, I don't. Well, no, hold on. If I take the daily, I don't have to take the chewable except maybe after a workout or something strenuous. But the daily is usually enough for everything. The daily. Okay. Now, I also like the oil under the tongue. A lot of people don't like that feeling or that taste. That's a very quick absorption. And it's good for everything. If you're getting on an airplane and you want to just take some, to calm you, it really works well for travel and stuff. That is for a quick, easy solution. For example, even if you took a gel cap in the morning, you might just be a little on edge getting on a plane. And I don't mean because of crashing. I just mean traveling in general. You take a little drop under your tongue, couple drops under your tongue, you feel great. And that's how it works. So there is no magic. They have like an immune boosting formula. The only difference about that is they've added some zinc and vitamin D. And so that would be for immune. And the sleep, they add melatonin and other things. But truly, pure CBD will always work. It's just how you get it into your system.
Is there a difference between full spectrum and broad spectrum?
Yes. Well, I think broad and full I think they're the same. There's either this way I look at it: THC or non-THC. The non-THC has an infinitesimal amount. You won't ever show up in a test. The THC formula never makes you high, but it has a tiny bit of THC in it. But that THC, why do they do both? Because there are some people who believe that THC is needed to make it effective, just like they like painkillers. Not painkillers, but like aspirin or Excedrin with a little caffeine in it. Does the THC accelerate the properties? Some people believe it does. Some people believe it doesn't matter. So it's there for a choice. But I'm going to tell you that recent lab tests have shown that people who took medical marijuana for the pain and stuff, it was BS that they were saying that the THC works on pain. The THC truly makes you high. That's what it does. The CBD was the stuff helping them with the pain, and they had clinical tests to show that. But I'm not going to argue with people who have cancer or are in pain if they want to smoke pot. But don't lie. Don't believe that it's the stupid THC doing it. The THC makes you high. Now, in a CBD formulation, there's not enough THC to make you high if you get the one with THC.
Okay, so when it comes to like choosing between full spectrum and broad, what I'm reading on their website right now, I can't really tell a difference on, what the difference between full and broad is.
I'm confused on that because I thought they were the same. I thought broad, but I think broad spectrum means it has all the cannabinoids without the THC, and full means it has the THC. But I would go by the THC ingredient, period. That's what I would do, because they'll tell you if it has THC or not. And if you're looking for general overall pain relief or an inflammation? You'd love gel caps in the. You don't have any like acute pain, lower back that comes on suddenly or after you work out or anything like that?
No, sir.
I would take, if I were you, and I'm not prescribing, I'm talking to you like a friend. I would take, in that case, I would take gel caps in the morning, couple in the morning, and call it good. And you're going to be amazed at how it works. You really will be. That's realcbdthatworks.com, by the way. Put Tom in the promo code and get that 30% off.
Now. This report is sponsored by Murdoch.
We'll wait. 1 sec. That's fine, but they're not going to bring it in here and eat it when I'm doing my spots. No. It's that I don't want them leaving in the middle of my spots and coming back in the middle of my spots. That's all.
For highs over the weekend with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Currently, it's 51. With your impact.
Those tinctures do take a minute to get used to that flavor.
It's everybody's favorite sale. Murdoch's Ranch and Home Supply Bucket Sale is this Saturday. Get 20% off most items that fit in a Murdoch's bucket. If it doesn't fit, you still get 10% off most items. Visit Murdoch's this Saturday or check out Murdochs.com for online-only bucket sale offers.
FixMyHome.com is the website for Fix It 24/7. Those are the people I trust for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. They do it all, and they're owned by a guy that I've known for many, many years. And this company has a few things in common with what I believe in, and that is the honesty, integrity, experience, knowledge, and the value. $24 right now. Listen to this. For a complete tune and check, an extreme clean, all of that, tune check and extreme clean of either the furnace or the AC. $24, and they spend hours on that thing, and it's like a refurbishment. That's like less than you spend on coffee in a month. $24 with a no breakdown guarantee. And of course, if they find anything wrong, they'll let you know, but there's no obligation. $24, fixmyhome.com, 720-526-3939. Rocky Mountain IV Medics, I use them, just like I use Fix It. I use Rocky Mountain IV Medics. You can find them online at RockyMountainIVMedics.com to read about them. Doctor-supervised medical professionals in your home or office. They meet you where you want to meet, and they'll give you an IV therapy for no more than it would cost at a hydration bar. So why not? Get the convenience of your home or office. Watch Netflix, text, read email, do whatever you want while they administer hydration therapy, either for deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies, maybe hydration. If you have the flu, want to get over the hump, whatever it is you need. 720-987-2155. Now, you can text that number for same-day appointments, sometimes same-hour appointments, 720-987-2155. Now you guys can make all the noise you want. There's 2 pieces in there. I'm sure there's enough, even after my straightening.
New range membership pricing for individuals, families, businesses, and couples. Located off C470 in Broadway in Littleton. Triple J offer.
Spend half my day doing that on my phone. Getting rid of stupid emails.
How's that even possible? To sell your home, get paid twice. You can with Orchard. It's simple. Orchard makes you a solid cash offer on your home. If you agree, boom, here's your cash. Orchard handles everything from there. Paint, repair, clean, list, and show your home. And if your old home sells for more than Orchard paid you for it, you get the upside cash. That bears repeating. When your old home sells for more than Orchard paid for it, you get paid again. And that happens 99% of the time with Orchard. Look, in this hot Denver market where there's so many home buying companies trying to lowball, only Orchard pays you the upside when your old home sells for more. Want to get paid twice when you sell your home? I know I would.
How you doing?
Doing good.
All right.
That's the ideal combination to apply at idealhomeloans.com. First we listen, then we lend, including the interest rate guarantee. If rates go down, they'll refinance you free of charge. Pick your own term loan. Also, rock solid pre-approvals, which put you at par with cash buyers. Call now, 303-867-7000. Idealhomeloans.com. Hi, it's Mandy calling.
Well, it's like pizza. Go help yourself.
I will. Is Tom in there scraping everything off? Yeah.
I tend to second guess them because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. Turns out I have UPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, Mencrolidase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis.
So, Scott, do you play golf at all?
Yeah.
Where do you usually play?
Kind of all over. I haven't played for the last, well, this will probably be my second season because I had shoulder surgery and I'm going to have another one.
That takes a lot out of you.
Absolutely. When Talib gets back from from this back surgery, I'm going to think do a shoulder replacement. Well, because I fell and I ripped all these tendons, and it just never got better. I can, well, it's about as high as I can raise my arm.
Really?
Oh, yeah. But I love golf.
Holy shit, that's bad.
When you're ready to play, let me know.
I will. I know you'd love it. You know, when I was married, my wife and I had a membership over here at Glenmore.
Oh, so did I.
Did you really?
Yeah, and then when I moved, I gave up that membership and I joined Cherry Creek.
Okay. I never played that course. I probably would have known you back in the Glenmore days.
They're affordable and in-network with most health insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicare Advantage.
When you're ready to play golf, we'll take you out to Cherry Creek.
All right. That sounds like a deal.
And let Dispatch Health come to you.
Is it a good, I was going to ask you that it's a good course.
Cherry Creek, yeah, I think it's supposed to be a good course.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Frank Duran, the real estate man, market valuations for the asking to find out what your house will actually sell for, far beyond most appraisals or even Zillow. Just find out from someone experienced for 27 years. 303-920-1622 with no obligation. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Okay, so, Mohammed, I'm sorry for the wait. What's going on with your windows? Did you have windows put in, Mohammed?
No, I'm a self-employed, Tom. I have a small business.
Okay.
I do handiwork, glass installation. I've been working with buying glass from this company, Progress Glass, for the last 9 years.
Okay. And now, what's the name of the company you've been buying glass from?
Progress Glass in San Francisco.
Glass to glass, or what? I'm not getting the name.
No. Progress. Progress.
Okay.
Progress.
Broglass.
Yeah, Progress.
Okay. Proglass. Got it. Proglass. Got it. Mm-hmm.
So, as usual, I work with the sales manager down there named Kevin.
Okay.
I have a big window where a customer called me. The insulated unit, the window made out of 3 pieces.
They call it an IGU, insulated glass unit, an IGU that you put into a frame, right?
Exactly. So it was damaged because it started leaking, sweating inside. So I told them we need to replace it.
How long have you been dealing with them?
This is since January. We started on January 16th. First, I ordered the glass.
Okay. So is this the first? Is this the first order you ever made from them? Is this the first?
No. Tom, I've been buying glass from them for 9 years.
That's what I meant. That's what I wanted to know. So they should treat you well. So what went wrong when you asked for a replacement?
I'm going to tell you what. So first, we have a low E insulated unit, so I wanted to determine the color so we don't get the wrong color, because we order 1 out of 3. There's one window, have 3 pieces, we only need to replace the big one in the center.
Right.
So I take one of the pieces, the one is mobile, down to the shop. I show it to Kevin, the sales manager, and he determined this is a gray, light gray low E. I said, wonderful. I give you the size for the big one. I text him the size, and I needed
now, when you say you took it down to the shop, was it your shop you took it to find the color, or was it their shop?
Their shop. And
where is their shop?
In San Francisco.
Okay. And so they said that they would replace it, right?
Yeah. But Tom, I'm just telling you the story. We're not even in the problem. I am just determining the type of a glass so we could order it.
No, I get it. And listen, I don't want to interrupt you, but I need to take this break, and I promise you I'll come right back to you and we'll work on it. Promise.
Portions of the following from pre-recorded.
I wonder where he's going with it.
KHOW Denver.
I wonder what happened.
Station. It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter. Mornings at 10. Streaming live on our free iHeartRadio.
I know they ordered the wrong color.
Maybe.
ABC News, I'm Andy Field. First responders, transit workers, police, all honored today for jumping to action during the Brooklyn subway shooting. New York City's mayor issuing a proclamation calling them heroes. MTA train conductor Raven Hayes tells ABC News that crews focused on safety, getting passengers out during and after the attack.
As long as we are calm, cool, and collected, our passengers can be calm and collected, and ensuring that they're calm helps that they move more easily.
Investigators still trying to piece together the timeline for suspect Frank James. He's being held without bail, charged with a federal terror offense. In Ukraine, Russian attacks intensifying near Kyiv. There are reports Russia warned of consequences if the U.S. and allies help Ukraine with new weapon shipments. Traffic flowing more freely from Mexico into Texas. Governor Greg Abbott easing up on the enhanced inspections for commercial trucks crossing the border. There is still a backlog on bridges at the border. This is ABC News. Protests in Grand Rapids, Michigan following a deadly police shooting. Patrick Leoya, an unarmed black man, shot in the head during a traffic stop. ABC's Alex Perez.
The incident recorded on an officer body camera, dash cam, security cameras, and a bystander's cell phone, unfolding back on April 4th when police say Leoya was pulled over because the plates on his car were registered to a different vehicle.
No, stop. Put your hands up.
The situation quickly escalating when Leoya attempts to flee and the officer pursues. The officer deploys his taser, Leoya fighting and wrestling to get to the officer's taser.
An evacuation order lifted following a fire and explosion at a natural gas plant near Wichita, Kansas. 2 people suffered minor injuries. No word on what caused that blast. A Colorado teenager is now a national master in chess. Griffin McConnell achieved that feat after surviving 4 brain surgeries. Andy Field, ABC News.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now. What is that? Meditation? I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution. Uma? Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Uma. Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
And now a message from Huck's Tissues. It's that time of year when spring's in full swing and explosions of life make allergies really zing. Each sniffle and swipe can be a moment of dread as ordinary tissues make noses angry and red. So trust by your side to soften all your
low bar. And they got low bar. Okay, that's what I was going to tell you about.
Yeah. Especially during allergy season, a nose in me deserves puffs in V.
The idea of an NFT makes good sense. Okay? When you have work from a renowned artist, okay? When you have something that you already know is going to have a value, okay? Because of who's creating, because of the path it comes to. But me just sitting around and making a bunch of graphics and throwing them up, and throwing them up on OpenSea, okay?
We will deliver.
Unless I'm doing something like a series of things, okay. So I like the 8 ones.
Yeah. Those are the ones I was thinking. Yeah.
If you're doing a series of them, then they become valuable because for the same reason that the blockchain works, okay. All right, because people have an interest and give it a value, bring a value to it. But hopefully, needed to get done.
Yeah, the only way an NFT has value if someone else wants it.
No, it's like anything else. Collectible.
And the only what's it worth? And the only thing that's going to give it an intrinsic or an inherent value is the path of its creation. If it comes through a renowned artist, then it has a value. Okay, or it has potential for value. But my 3-year-old making a drawing and me scanning that bad boy, putting it on OpenSea and saying $6,000.
With a high of 66. Yeah. And then for the weekend, expect mid to upper 60s for the high with partly to mostly cloudy skies.
Currently, it's 53.
Well, I mean,
Traffic and weather. I'm Chris
at the moment, at the moment that he bought it, or that he obtained it,
before the new signature stack burger menu.
that was all novelty hype.
Well, that's just it. And he was asking 50 or 48 million, so he was really in you know.
It was all novelty hype. It's like, oh.
But it's like anything. I mean, you get in the real estate market, you know. You finally close on a house, and then you turn to your real estate and say, now list it.
Ain't nobody cared about the first tweet, though, since the first day.
Yeah. Yeah, we got over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody cared about the first tweet since the first day.
But at least when you buy a house or you purchase something tangible, it has some intrinsic value.
No, I didn't mean that so much, but just that when people get so tied up in like house flipping. You know, I saw a real estate commercial, you know, the guy's looking at it, and they close the deal file, and he turns to his agent. Okay, now I want to sell it. The day they closed on it, you know, because he wants to make $50,000 on the house or something.
Close the doors in September this year.
Really, for what?
They're going to remodel the clubhouse.
Where? Oh, Cherry Hills?
No, Glenmore.
They're doing Cherry Hills too, and all the people at Cherry Hills. If you want to have an event, Cherry Hills is footing the bill to put you in another building.
Really?
Over where McCormick's used to be.
And now,
Yeah.
with our free iHeartRadio app, while streaming KOW with the full screenplay, just
They said, so we have to go, if we wanted to do an event over there. I get my spots.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Garage Magic. We'll do magic in your garage. If you're looking for great floor coverings, polyaspartic floor coverings are the new deal. And that 21-year guarantee, full employees. I say that because so many people just hire subs to come in and grind up the garage and do a lousy job. 95% of it is prep. Garage Magic has it down. Beautiful floors for both industrial, commercial, and residential. Okay, so give them a call. GarageMagic.com for your beautiful floor, an array of colors, 720-600-HOME. Or they can do patio decks and pool decks, of course. Also, sidewalks, 720-600-HOME, 720-600-HOME. Let's talk, okay? Now, Mohammed left off and said he's a handyman. He does glass and all kinds of stuff, and he orders from San Francisco from this company, Pro Glass. And he had to replace a unit that was leaking, and it was a light gray, a low E. And that was what they said it was. So he went with it. And let's pick up from there. What happened?
Okay, I received that glass. I went and pick it up. As always, you know, they order it a week later. They call me, your glass here. I go pick it up. I bring it to the customer home. I install it. I clean it. You know, the customer lives in the Sunset, which is facing the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So when we put it up, there's damage in the glass. You know, a clear damage inside the unit, so inside the glass, which is, I think they chipped the tint, the low E tint. So it's obvious there's like a clean air.
Okay. Did you take a pic of it? Are they going to replace it?
Absolutely. There's no problem. I called Kevin, the person I deal with. I said, do we have damaged unit? He said, okay, I'm going to order another one. So we received the second one a week later.
This is the third one, isn't it? Wouldn't this be the third one?
This is the second one, yes. Because the first one I take to them, that was our unit to determine what color it is. So this is the second one I received from them. I went, picked it up.
The original one, the first one, and the second. Okay. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is the second unit. I install it. We have very similar problem, you know, damage inside the glass.
With the other one, wait. So hold on. We had the original one. The original one was leaking. The second one was damaged.
The original one, yeah, San Martino. The original one is the customer one. the one the customer owned that I'm trying to replace.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now I understand what you're I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so the one that was leaking was the customer's, and when you replaced it with the first one, it was damaged. And now that's why you're saying the first and second. Got it. Okay, so are they going to replace it yet again?
They did, and Kevin said, no problem, we'll order another one. All right. I wait, the third one show up. I went to the shop, and the third one had even bigger crack. I said, Kevin, I don't even need
My
to
God, why can't they make a good piece of glass?
Because they ordered from the manufacturer in the different city, and he said, oh, the manufacturers, they will replace it because this is not our problem, because the problem is that in the inside. Thanks God in the inside. If that was outside, I'll get blamed for it because I'm the one that picked it up. But I told him this third one, we're not gonna even accept it. The customer is already furious. I already replaced 2 for him. I'm not gonna take the third one damaged. He said no problem. He ordered the 4th one.
Oh no!
So I received but I went too far with myself. Let me tell you the other problem I have before we reach.
But wait. I just need to know this. Was the 4th one damaged?
Yes, and but before I get to the 4th one, I have a different issue, which is I'm gonna tell you. I find out with the 4th one because. You remember, if I mentioned the glass, the window itself made out of 3 pieces. The big piece in the center and the 2 sliding windows on each side.
Right.
So when I received the big one in the first one, the customer noticed, and I noticed too after, because he called me 2 days later. He said, Mohammed, the color is different. What's wrong?
No.
I went to him, but let me tell you, it's my fault too. I said, you know what? I have the sweetest, the nicest customer in the world.
Yeah.
He was so helpful. Okay.
So now, just tell me this, Mohammed, is the 4th one okay except for the color, or is it broken as well? What's wrong with the 4th one?
The 4th one, it have a haze like rainbow. So there is damage in the low E. There's damage in the tint.
God.
Itself.
Maybe you just get your money back and deal with someone else.
Well, I never even pay for it because I always finish the job 2 weeks later. I pay Kevin. I've been working for these guys for 9 years.
Okay. So what are you calling about then? Because it sounds to me like they tried to make it right, and if you didn't pay for it yet, I would bring back the 4th piece and say I'm done.
That's where I want to do it. But before we do that, let me tell you what happened. So the customer called Kevin, and because Kevin don't want to order anymore, and I said, this is the problem. We have problems. So the customer himself called, and he talked to a lady down there, and the lady forwarded him to Kevin, and then Kevin responded to the customer because he don't want to.
Okay, so what did Kevin tell the customer?
He came to the customer home. He looked at it, and he said, yes, absolutely, you have problem, and there's some wind damage with the manufacturer here. This is manufacturer damage, and we ordered the 5th one. But we have, Tom, now the 5th one here, the problem, this is what is when so many things went wrong. I went ahead, explained to you, but we have 2 issues went wrong in the beginning that I didn't notice because we didn't have tag. Before we reached this 5th one, like I mentioned, the color was mismatching because I told the customer the new one, they're newer and the old one faded from the sun. So I convinced the customers to place the other 2. In the first unit, I already ordered 2 and I replaced them. But I find out on the 4th one that Kevin was ordering bronze. Even so we were really paying for extra 2 units we didn't have to. That's one. Because originally I brought the glass to him and we determined this is a gray. And he wasn't bringing it.
So just tell me this. What's wrong today?
Yes.
Is it the 5th one is still wrong?
No, the 5th one is in the shop sitting, but Kevin now, he wanted me to sign paper for responsibility for the 5th one and pay for it and take it installed. I said, wait a minute, I already put $2,000 worth of labor here.
Right, I get it. But Mohammed, I have a simple question.
Go ahead.
Have you examined the 5th unit?
This is what is the problem. When we examine in the shop, you can't tell nothing. When you put them against the son in the house.
So he won't let you take. Wait, he won't let you take it until you pay for it.
Pay for it and sign papers. And I've been working for 9 years. This is the first time he requests payment ahead of time.
Well, Mohammed, you have to understand, this guy's thinking, holy crap. But he verified they were all damaged. It's not like it's your fault. So you're at a standoff right now. You won't pick it up. I mean, you're afraid that if you pay for it and take it out to the customer's house and it's still wrong, you're going to eat it.
Exactly.
How much is the unit?
Because we replaced 3.
How much is the unit?
Total. So the total glass $2,400.
Wait,
I mean, no, the glass itself. It was $970. He gave me discount $700. He gave me little discount because of all this trouble.
But Mohammed, Mohammed, hold on, man.
Yes.
You didn't have to pay for the defective ones. How much does he want for the? How much does he want? Can I ask a question, Mohammed? How much does he want from you right now for the 5th unit?
$500.
$500. Okay, and that is a substantial discount, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you don't want to pay $500 because you're afraid it still may be wrong.
Of course, and Tom, add to that, I replaced the glass 4 times already. All that labor I put out.
Well, I know that. That's tough. But I mean, Mohammed, you don't want Pro Glass to pay your labor, do you?
Actually, they are responsible for the labor. They should give me some credit. I'll be honest with you. With all fairness, I replaced the 4th glass because it wasn't my fault. It was damaged from.
No, I get it. But Mohammed, there could be an argument that you could take that pane and put it up on the deck or something and examine it before you go through all the trouble of installing it.
You know, right now, when we reach this point, that's what we're trying to do. But the problem, I am not going to pick. I can't pick it up because he asked me to pay for it. Because if I want to put it in the deck, I have to take it to the customer home against the sun.
No, I get it. But you want more than that, though. You want more than that. You're asking for a credit. I think that $500 represents a substantial credit, doesn't it?
Well, they give me $400 credit, I know, from the original price. But I don't think that's enough, especially I'm willing to do the fit installation for free. I offer the customer just for the customer. But the problem here, Tom, I'm just showing their manager that I put so much labor that worth this much money, and you guys not willing even. He's already demanding.
Mohammed, I don't know what you want. I, honest to God, I've been listening to you. I don't know what you want. What do you want right now? Do you want the window free?
No, I don't want the window. I
what
don't want the window.
Do you want?
You know what I want?
What do you want?
I want for them to let me take the glass and put it against, like you said, the light. If this is a good glass, and then we'll install
that, to me, sounds like a logical solution. Is it do they not trust you?
Well, right now they wanted not to get responsible. They're just almost. I am the one should be upset with all.
I know.
All the mistakes they make.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, we got it. You're not unreasonable. You simply want to make sure it's right, and you'll gladly pay them. They're thinking, oh, no, we're not doing this again. And really, that's the wrong attitude to have. They should be able to let you take it. Why not meet Kevin on the job site and tell Kevin this, that if it checks out on the job site, you'll give Kevin a check on the spot.
We have, I have no problem with that. And I try to work with him. That's why I reached out to his manager.
Okay, hold on a second. Just wait. Kelly, we're going around in circles. We all know the problem. He simply wants to make sure the glass is correct before he pays, and he's gladly going to pay, but it's been 5 times. So the guy has no reason
not to want to make this right. So Kevin was out at the customer's house before, so see if Deputy Smarty Pants can ask Kevin to meet Mohammed on the job site. And then they can come to an agreement, whether there's a defect or not, if it's the right color or not, and then Mohammed can pay him on the job site. I don't think there's anything unreasonable with that. Let's see if we can get Deputy Smarty Pants to talk to Pro Glass in San Francisco.
I am Eva Longoria, and I am so excited.
I'm Windows.
Holy shit.
Sometimes you gotta go a long way to get there.
How can we connect value? Listen to Connections with Eva Longoria from the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. You should call them, even if you don't think you need them. And here's why. They'll tell you what they do and why you need a planning center or a retirement quarterback to oversee all of your retirement plans. You may have a 401k, you may have a SEP, you may have a pension, you may have an annuity, you may have an investment counselor, you may have a reverse loan, you may have an estate attorney, or you may want them to help you. Whatever it is, no matter how much you have or don't have, call them, meet with them, talk to them free of charge to find out what else they can do for you. I know that they're a father-son, son-in-law team with a group of experts with hundreds of years of combined experience. And they can help you get ready for retirement. The sooner the better. Or if you're facing retirement, 970-663-3211. Listen, they'll come to you. You can go to them or they'll meet you on Zoom. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. They'll explain how they charge and how they save you money far beyond what they charge. 970-663-3211. rpcenter.com. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. And I mean that sincerely. They will first let you pick any term you want. You don't have to go back to 15 or 30. And you can pull cash out. You can make that term what you want, as I said, or lower your payment, maybe both. And here's the other thing. If rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. It's the interest rate guarantee. Just 0.75% movement down, and they'll refinance you. Think about that. You'll never be caught without getting the lowest rate. Here's the other good thing. Rates are still pretty low, around 5%. And even if you think I won't benefit, think about that high interest debt you could be paying off. Ideal Home Loans for purchase money is great, too, because they have a pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. You're already approved. Call and find out more. 303-867-7000. idealhomeloans.com. SaferNet is something that can save your bacon. You know, the pipeline that was hacked and encoded, and it cost them $11 million to get that unscrewed up. Do you know that if they had a SaferNet, a simple app like SaferNet, they wouldn't have had that problem? In fact, there are so many people that can use SaferNet. It runs in the background. They call it SaferNet because it gives you control over everything. It insulates you from viruses. It insulates you against malware. And it's just a few bucks a month for each device that you protect. And with kids, it gives you ultimate protection on where they surf and how they surf. Or employees, SaferNet.com. You get 44 days free to evaluate it if you put Tom in the promo code, SaferNet.com.
What's up, Nuggets fan? It's Jamal Murray here to tell you about Orchard. If you're looking to buy a home but want to skip all the stress, it's time for a mid-game adjustment. Orchard lets you move into your new home before you even sell your old one. Orchard turns you into a cash buyer so you can win in a competitive market. And it doesn't cost you any more money than traditional real estate. Orchard is the same game, but
bro.
And when the home you
all right, I'm doing good, just tired.
Get started at Orchard.com.
Did you see a lady in the Minnesota Timberwolves game try to glue herself to the floor?
She tried to what?
Glue herself, her hand.
To what?
To the floor, the court.
Really?
In protest of the owner has, as in many other things, but a chicken processing place in Iowa.
Oh, she's a PETA?
They had the avian flu, So they had to eliminate 5 million chickens, basically. Yeah. So she's protesting the abuse of animals and killing 5 million chickens or something crazy. So they got a picture of her with super glue trying to glue her hand to the cord so they couldn't play.
Has anyone seen Social Security?
I didn't know she was related to that.
No, this is one.
Just didn't know if she was related
This
or not.
is one corrupt woman.
Oh, I was just throwing that out.
That's who was.
Related to what?
Oh, yeah.
No, I ain't seen it. I don't know nothing about it.
She look like somebody in here? What?
I don't know. I didn't see her either. Yeah, I just.
Colin Coward, here's what's trending from iHeart Sports Network, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
I wasn't accusing you.
Hey,
you know.
The Nuggets start their series with the Warriors in the first half of the playoffs tomorrow without Facundo Campazzo. He's suspended for shoving Lakers guard Wayne Ellington last Sunday. Thanks in part to 26 saves by Paul Frank Cruz, the NHL leading average gained past the Devils last night. Colorado playing 8-game winning streak with 8 remaining.
well, I guess the U.S. is going to agree with the Ukrainians and say that they shot that boat.
The 2022 Mercedes-Benz.
I think they might have.
I actually think they did too, though.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like a Russian fairy tale.
Oh,
We blew ourselves up.
Fire on board.
We blew ourselves up.
Denver's talk station, available on over 2,000.
We sunk our own battleship.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now we're going to have open lines. You can call if you need help, information, referrals, like right now. Gloria, what's going on with you, Gloria?
Good afternoon.
Hey, what's happening?
Yes, I am a mature lady, haven't bought a car, a new car for 40 years. Went to a dealership here in Greeley, Colorado.
Oh, well, all you had to say was Greeley, because if you took all of the bad dealerships in Colorado, 98% of them are in Greeley and Longmont. So which dealer is this?
It is Ehrlich Toyota. They're no longer, now they're a different.
When you bought from them, who were they?
Ehrlich.
Ehrlich?
Yes.
Okay. And Ehrlich Toyota was not Ehrlich, really. That was sold before, too. Ehrlich Toyota, when you bought it, when did you buy from Ehrlich Toyota?
I bought this in July last year.
Okay. Ehrlich Toyota bought, and what did you buy from them?
Toyota Corolla hatchback.
What year?
2020.
Was it new?
Yes.
Okay. And you bought it, and what's the problem now?
Okay. The problem, I bought it, and I put $3,500 down, plus I also put down the first car payment. And the gal was so in a hurry to have me.
How much was the first car payment?
$389 and change.
Why did you do that?
Like I said earlier, this is my first car payment. I have bought used cars before. And
Okay. So where was it financed?
Capital One.
Okay. So we'll keep going.
So what happened was, she wanted to help me, and I'm in the senior bracket, by the way.
Okay.
And
welcome.
So she wanted to help me put it in the system, and I'm pretty capable, but I already felt uncomfortable.
You mean in the system, like your online account?
Yeah, for Capital One, yeah.
Got it, yeah, okay.
And then, but before that, fine, I wanted someone experienced, and I wanted, so they gave me a gentleman, I've got his name and her name. What happened?
Did they help you? Let me just get this straight. Did they help you do an online account?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So I wanted to originally buy the 2019. It was a white car, but the salesman kept saying, keep going, tell me how much you want to put down, keep going. And I'm like, really? And so, and
you understand that whatever you bought, and it doesn't matter what he said before that.
Yeah, well, apparently, right. And so what happened was then all of a sudden the gal told me, the gal that wrote up the contract was so busy talking about, she's a recovering alcoholic and that he was that he had a wife that was an alcoholic. But why I'm saying that was because she kept saying all this smoke screen stuff. But getting back to the car purchase, so all of a sudden I'm getting calls from Capital One that I'm in the rears, and I'm like, how am I in the rears when I've already made my first payment? And so I had to hurry up and scurry and get money to try to catch up as quickly as I could.
When did you get a call from Capital One?
That was in December.
And you bought the car when?
In July.
Well, you only said you put money down in your first payment.
Right.
Well, okay, so let me get this straight then. You bought it in July, and you made your first payment, okay, and you made your first payment, which would have been for August.
There you go, yeah.
And then you had another payment due in September.
Exactly. Let me back up. She told me I didn't have to make payments for 3 months.
Well, I don't... Okay.
And then on top of it, about a month later,
Okay, so Gloria, none of that matters if you made up the payments, because whatever you owe will go against the balance. It's not like you're making extra payments. You're going to make whatever payments are due, and if they were earlier than you thought, no big deal. They're going to come off at the end. You'll just be... So where are we going with the story? I need to know how you're in trouble right now or what you're complaining about.
What I'm complaining about is that she never made my first payment.
Oh, did she keep the money?
She did. And
how did she keep the money if it was made out to Capital One?
Okay, I made a money order, and she said she never had a money order, so I made a copy of my money order, and then both the gals' names were Jess. And so,
who'd you make out the money order to?
To Ehrlich Toyota.
Okay, so you made a $3,500 payment to Ehrlich, and you made a $389 payment to Ehrlich.
Yes.
2 separate payments.
Right.
And right now, they're only showing on your account history the $3,500.
And yes, exactly.
You're showing no credit for the $389.
Correct.
Okay, how would this woman who's a recovering alcoholic or the other guy who's a recovering alcoholic, how would they have cashed that check or that money order?
Well, then she took it to the other gal, the one that's in charge. There's two.
How did they cash it and keep the money?
Oh, they cashed them. They cashed it, and they gave me. I had a money order for $400. And they gave me the change, and
wait a minute.
They kept it. They kept it.
Okay, so you mean to tell me the money order for the first payment they cashed?
Yes.
Why? Why did you let them cash it?
I thought they were going to give it to. Oh, this is the reason. She said that they had already made the payment to Capital One during this nonsense flu.
So they basically cheated you.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you have a copy of the money order somewhere?
I do.
Okay. And did you trace the money order to who cashed it?
That I don't know.
Because it's really a theft of the money order. You got to simplify this. Your story will get no sympathy, nor will you get help. Because it all boils down to this. You paid that money order to that clerk, and she diverted the funds. No matter how you look at it, that's all it is. It's not, I made my first payment, they took my first payment, they cashed it, but they didn't make the first payment. None of that. Don't ever say that again to anyone. You paid a money order to this woman, and she diverted the funds to her pocket. Okay? Now, that's it. Did you sign it over to her?
To Ehrlich Toyota.
Well, you signed the money order over to Ehrlich, or it was made out to Ehrlich?
Ehrlich Toyota.
I'm asking you, did you sign the back of that check?
No.
Okay. You had it made out to Ehrlich Toyota.
Yes.
Okay. You need to call the money order company and get a copy of who cashed it.
Okay.
And if you can show that Ehrlich Toyota cashed it or an individual cashed it, then we are going to, but is Ehrlich still in business or not?
No, they have it to, it went over to McDonald's.
But McDonald isn't responsible to you.
No.
So where's the woman that stole your money?
She apparently went out of state.
Well,
and
there's
the
nothing.
other girl is in Denver.
There's nothing you're going to do about it now, Gloria. It's too late. You got cheated. Because we don't have anybody to go after. Ehrlich Toyota's gone. The woman's gone. I mean, I don't know. You got to chase down this guy. You'll never prove your case. Really, Gloria, I mean, I'm sorry this happened, but you got cheated out of $389. They cashed it at the dealership under the guise that they were going to make your payment direct. Is that right?
Yes.
But then they gave you back change, and they had cash in their pocket, right?
Right.
How are you ever going to get that money back? Ever?
Are there any other Ehrlich dealerships in the Denver area?
I don't know if they're still around. I think they're all sold out. I don't know. I got to find out. But how do you...
That would be one way Ehrlich might make it good.
Yeah, but they're probably different ownerships. But here's the deal. Did you ever talk to the existing... By the way, if McDonald owns it now, they're good people. Have you ever talked to them?
They will avoid me to talking to him.
Well,
when I ask to talk to the owner,
well, you understand they're not responsible to you. You know that, right?
I understand that.
Okay. I'm just wondering, have you ever talked to them about it to see if they know if they have any records of the early Ehrlich transactions?
That I don't know, but I asked the gal that was also involved, that cashed the money order. She said that the records are probably in a storage somewhere. This whole year they've been blowing me off. I even called Toyota corporate.
Well, Gloria, you don't have anything. You don't have anything. You don't. Wow. Unless you get a copy. You need to get a copy of that cashed money order that shows it went into their pocket. And even if it shows it went into their pocket, you can't go after them. They're gone. I mean, you're just going to have to toss this up to a loss. It's a theft. It's a loss. Not everyone gets reimbursed.
I mean, I feel sorry for her.
Yeah, she got it $400.
Do you see how long it took to get that story out?
Oh,
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I know.
No, it's more and more common, unfortunately.
No, it's unbelievable that it took that long for her.
No, that's more and more common is what I'm saying.
All that history.
Because we got to hit the alcoholic end, we got to hit this and that and this. And, yeah. Because I get accused of being rude when I try to cut my customers off the story. You know?
So in medical school, we learn how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you take me history, you need to, like say, learn how to focus without being utterly rude.
Sure.
To get them to the point.
Yeah. No, my New York kicks in every once in a while. Yeah. But it's just, the whole story's nice. And it's just like, the reason I brought my car in today is just in 3 words or less. It's impossible. Try it.
It'll never happen.
You try it,
That's what Kelly says when she answers the phone.
Well, I did it with 5.
In a sentence or less.
I did it with 5. I said, I need an oil change. So
hold on, guys. If you want to sell your home, you can do it the conventional way.
Have you ever heard somebody say, I sold my house in 6 hours? Deputy Doc, I think you said that once, but it wasn't really 6 hours. I mean, did you get a contract in 6 hours?
I got a contract the second day it was on.
Okay, but when did it close?
Oh, very quickly.
When? A month later?
Oh, no, maybe a week later.
Okay, so that is light speed usually. Usually, no matter what, there's an inspection, there's something going on, there's a closing. I've never heard of a closing within a week, but possibly it can happen with a conventional sale. But I'm going to tell you this, that you can get a check almost immediately from home investors if they like your house. It doesn't have to be in perfect shape. They don't care about inspections. They don't care about any of that. Home investors will pay you cash for your house. Now, before you say, no, they won't, they're never going to give me what I want, why not call and find out? You have nothing to lose. 800-44-BUYER. There's no loan approval. There's no inspection. There's nothing. There's just a closing. Their check to you. 800-44-BUYER. Retirement's all about income, really. That's what it all boils down to. You want income. And you can get income in a number of ways. Two of the most solid ways, a good annuity that will pay you in exchange for a lump sum or monthly payments that you've been making for years. You turn on the income switch and it turns into an annuity for life. But the problem is you don't know how to find those, do you? Well, you can find great ones at mymoneymyway.com. And I'm telling you, they're good. Also, you can find out about Become the Banker, a strategy where you get a life insurance policy and you overfund it on purpose. Either way, you will build income for life. mymoneymyway.com.
Greenberry. I'll bet you. So they did no inspection on your house?
Oh, they did.
No, we're not on the air. We're not on the air.
They did an inspection.
And they did all of that in 1 week?
Well, I would say 10 days. She really wanted the house.
That's amazing.
She wanted
even 10 days is amazing.
Yeah, she really wanted.
I've never seen a private sale close in 10 days. I had cash, no inspections, nothing, and it took 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They couldn't even get the title work done, and she didn't need an appraisal.
Mm-mm.
She paid cash.
Yeah.
Okay, and no appraisal.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't have an appraisal either.
She really wanted to live in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
The day that you truly take control of your life with Greenberry.
Greenberry, healthy cereal for your family.
It's good to believe. Listen to that ad. No sugar or less sugar, whatever it was.
He's busy.
Yeah.
Options that honestly I think is existing. The hearing aids specifically have not only reduced my tinnitus, but have improved my hearing dramatically. This is a family-owned and operated hearing practice that has custom-designed products because they don't believe that one size fits all as you might get in your typical box store. So if you're struggling with tinnitus, hearing loss, dizziness, or balancing issues, do exactly what I did and go visit Colorado Ear Care at one of their multiple locations across the metro area. Call Colorado Ear Care at 303-233-3142, 303-233-3142, or online, coloradoearcare.com to learn more. That's coloradoearcare.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs get trapped and multiply. And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
I feel sorry for that woman. She's still on it.
Well, she's just out the money, you know.
Because even if you can prove everything she said, like you said, where do you go? Who do you get it from?
After the top of the hour, let's get this Amazon author back on. How frustrating. Oh, my God.
about this show.
Yeah, what was that? How to have an affair without getting caught.
Oh, really?
How to have an affair.
There has to be other places to sell books.
Yeah. And if you have to read a book about it, you should take it.
You wrote the book.
I'm just thinking if you have to read a book about it, you probably shouldn't even do it. I don't know.
That's true. I'd be reading a book like that for entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, they do have the best indoor shooting range in Colorado.
Jenny, maybe this is too soon, but will you get a new range membership at Triple J Armory with me?
I thought you'd never ask, and we'll get a free U.S. Law Shield membership too.
New range membership pricing for individuals, families, businesses, and couples. Located off C-470 in Broadway in Littleton, Triple J Armory. Protect the people you love.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHAL.
Tom Martino here, 303-713 talk, 713-8255. Gloria, there's not much we can do for you, dear. Kelly, just check with her if she has another question, but we're really not much we can do. I'm going to go on to Mike. Mike, welcome to the show. And we have open lines at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What's going on, Mike?
Yeah, Tom, I just wanted to say I've been listening to you and watching you on TV forever.
Thank you.
And, oh, you're welcome. And Deputy Doc reminds me of Father John. I think you should call him Father Doc.
Father Doc. By the way, I have done that before where I call him Father John by mistake. Really. And that Father Doc's not a bad moniker. I might do that. I got to think about it. He might not like it.
I like Deputy Doc better.
Yeah, and he's not old enough to be my father. Father John was old enough to be my father.
Can we call him the Doc Father?
Hey, Mike, do you remember listening to Father John?
Oh, I sure do. And I missed the time when he passed. But Doc has similar wisdom.
Yeah. I mean, Father John didn't have too much wisdom. Well, no, hold on. He had smarts. He didn't have wisdom because he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth in New York City on Park Avenue. I mean, his dad was a gazillionaire and his mom. I mean, really, he grew up but you would never know it. He was down to earth and, of course, worked his ass off himself. So, but yeah, those were some good times. Thank you, Mike, for that pleasant memory and observation.
Mail, Mike.
Yeah. Anyway, I need to know if there's another place. Did she have another question for us? No. Okay. I need to know if there's another place to sell books if you're an author other than Amazon. I mean, Amazon is it, isn't it? I mean, where do you sell books if you're an author? Because we have this woman who dealt with Amazon. We're going to get her back on. And they canceled her account. And there's no appealing it. If they make a decision, they in their minds think she's a cheater, and they think that she was selling someone else's book because of a pen name. And because of that mix-up, they will never let her have another account. She gave me another report. She was on the show yesterday. She called customer service and got nothing but the runaround. We'll talk about it coming up. Does that woman on line 3, is it still Gloria?
Yes, and she does have another
Good.
question. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you're traveling north on I-25.
That would be frustrating trying to fight that.
West I-25
Yeah,
is
Amazon.
included in a little bit of your traffic through downtown.
Well, what she says, she wrote 3 additional books a couple of years ago, and she was trying to put them all in one account. And I think that's where the problem got messed up.
Are these the same spots, Homevestors, or are they
I'm an
new?
idiot. I'm sorry I didn't type them yet. Ideal and K&H 30. Ideal and K&H 30.
Traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin. 6:30, hey how.
Spa Palace for 38 years has been the trusted source for all your hot tub and swim spa needs. They offer the most trusted brand, Jacuzzi Hot Tubs, a leader in performance with clean water hydrotherapy, a brand you can trust from friends you can trust. Spa Palace, spapalace.com for locations.
You know, there's something to be said. There really is something to be said about longevity. The longest and oldest home improvement company in Colorado, K&H Home Solutions, 65 years. You know, I've known the original owner, and I knew when Ted took over. I love this company. They have taken care of warranties even from the previous ownership. And that's like 30 or 40 years ago. So if you want to make the most out of your tax refund, if you're getting one, or make the most out of your dollar when upgrading the siding and windows and doors on your home, how about K&H this month with 30% off? That's true. And it's a true 30%. They don't do that willy-nilly. It's a true 30% off their already low prices. A great combination of discounts, excellent products, like energy-efficient windows, durable siding, Everlast siding, the best siding, and designer doors, plus the 65-year heritage of K&H. Get the best of home improvements with K&H 30% off. Make your own appointment even. KHWindows.com, KHWindows.com, 303-421-7100. You can start your loan process online with Ideal Home Loans, or you can give them a call at 303-867-7000. There are plenty of reasons to refinance, even if you think, oh, no, 5% is too high. If you're paying high-interest debt and you can pull some cash out, you can really save money by getting a loan now. And here's what's even better. If you do get a loan now from K&H, they will do this. They will give you an interest rate guarantee, so if rates go down, they will refinance you free of charge over the next 2 years, and you get a 2-year guarantee every time you refi. Or if you're looking to buy, you get a pre-approval. They'll pre-approve you, set the money aside, and it puts you at par with a cash buyer. So if you get the pre-approval plus the interest rate guarantee, how do you beat it? 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com.
As we age, we can't always plan on good health, but you can plan.
I was like, oh.
Just entertaining yourself over there.
Okay. Candyman. You know the movie Candyman? Candyman is for anybody as long as they kept his name out of their mouth. Let that sink in.
My girlfriend's granddaughter used to, because she'd walk in the room and I go, Candyman. Oh, stop! What did you say it 3 times or something? You showed up or something. That poor girl was afraid of everything.
Candyman, Merry Widow.
Hey Tom, did you ever watch the series The Americans?
Yes.
Wasn't that I saw something about it the other day.
I loved it.
That was a
Those
great
actors
series.
were great. That woman, she's beautiful.
Yeah, Kerry.
Yes.
Yeah, you know she's from Parker, Colorado.
No.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
No,
like she grew up there as a kid?
Yeah. She went to high school here.
You know who else is from around here? Is a Supergirl.
Amy Adams is also from around here.
Amy Adams, and then Supergirl.
Really?
She went to I believe Littleton High School or. Oh, so was
Don Cheadle's from around here.
Who?
Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Did he go to Jefferson or East?
TJ or
one of those schools.
And then there was
the guy from Home Improvement. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, the kid.
No,
Mike Rowe?
No,
Tim and
Tim.
Oh, Tim Allen.
Tim Taylor.
I don't know if he was, but I don't
think
know.
he was.
But there was a male and female Hunter, police officers. Hunter, remember that series?
No.
The woman was from Denver. She still lives here. Look up Hunter, the TV series.
I heard this hot chick.
And she was pretty.
on the news is Stephanie Riggs or something who's around here. Wonder whatever happened to her.
Yeah. Oh, Fred Dreyer, that's right. He was the ex-football player. Was in that.
No, but he wasn't from here. But his,
no, but I remember
who
the
was
show
the
now.
girl? What was her name?
Stephanie Kramer.
Yep, she's from here.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes and Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 worth of responsive job. Terms and conditions apply.
From your radio to your desktop. And when you ask Alexa to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio, Denver's talk station is available everywhere. Just download our free iHeartRadio app. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right, so Gloria is the one, and I feel bad for her. She bought a car, first time in many years. She was alone. She says she's in the senior class, meaning senior citizen like me. And she goes to this place, Ehrlich Toyota in Greeley, and I believe her story 100%. She put a down payment down and then she wanted to make her first car payment, and she did it with a money order. But then the one clerk there talked her into cashing that money order so she could get some change back and said they would make the payment, or they already had, and they kept the cash. But to reconstruct that set of circumstances from that many years ago would be almost impossible to prove. It was in 2007. Wait. When did she say it was in? It was in July of 2020, right? But it was sold, the dealership, and the girl left town. So, Gloria, you had another question?
Yes. The question is that I did get a chance to talk to an attorney in Greeley, and he said something about that. If I can, I could take it to civil court, and because I had to catch up my payment, and where it put me in the rears for my other, Greeley credit card.
Yeah.
And
so what did this attorney say?
He said that I could take them to civil court, show what it's done to my credit.
Yeah.
And then from there, I guess that's all I could do.
Okay, well, let's put it this way, Gloria. He's right and he's wrong. He's correct. You can sue a kitchen table. You can sue anybody you want, but you will never prevail because the burden of proof is on you. And your damages are not going to amount to a tenth of what it will cost you to take to court. So this moron attorney should also have told you to even get to the courthouse steps with something like this would be a minimum, and you're speaking to someone with experience of no less than 14 lawsuits. I prevailed in every one of them. One was dismissed. I didn't prevail in, but I will tell you, you will never get to courthouse steps, never, for less than $25,000, never. No matter how small the case. 25 is the low end. It will most likely be 50,000 or more just to get into the courtroom. That's with depositions, documentation of your finances, your losses, and tracking down those people and serving them. So the attorney was just tickling your ears. That's what we call it, Gloria. They tickle your ears. They tell you what you want to hear, but ask the moron to take your case on contingency and see where it goes. I'm Tom Martino. I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but it is the truth.
The new true crime.
It's not bad news. It is the truth. It's honest.
These fucking morons. How many times have we heard it? Oh, yeah, you could take them to court for that. Sure you can. Sure you can. You can take anybody to court for anything.
For $400.
Well, the damage to the credit is what she's wanting.
But who's she going to get it from?
At her age, what damages, in monetary damages, did she suffer?
Well, who is she going to get? Who is she suing?
Hey, folks, if you have well, it'd have to be Ehrlich because you can't sue the other person for credit. But even at that, is Ehrlich responsible?
Ehrlich is gone.
They're gone.
But even if you got to make them responsible. Yeah.
Family owned and are dedicated to providing affordable solutions to your water problem needs. You can get water softeners starting at $2,195 installed
at waterpros.net. Visit
You would have been notified before 6 months that you had it arrears and carton.
So you've been told several times, right, Tom?
Where?
Because you've been told several times. In my career, I was deposed twice. The minor, like,
About 14 times, maybe. But here's the deal.
It's playing word games with the
Well,
attorney. Sure.
No, here's what you do. This is the smartest thing. Yes and no.
Exactly.
If I can't answer it with yes or no, then it's the shortest answers possible. You do not give people more
Absolutely.
ever. Because they will use each and every word. That the reason for deposition is to find you in an inconsistency in court. That's the only reason. There's no other reason. Is to compare that with what you say in court. And if you don't say the exact same fucking words,
I know, they try and trap us. Like, they'll say, do you use this book as a reference? And you have to say, well, it's one of the books I use because part of it I agree with and part of it I don't. But otherwise, they'll say, if you use it as reference, you don't say it. Well, on page 463, it said this, and you didn't do that.
That's right.
They try and trap doctors like crazy.
Or I like saying, I don't recall. I'm sorry. I don't recall the details.
That's the one right there.
I don't, I'm sorry. Oh, you mean to tell me you don't recall what you charged? No, I don't recall. Sorry. I just don't. I don't. You asked to the best of my recollection? Well, I don't recall. And it's the truth. I don't remember what I had for fucking lunch.
Pizza.
Well, not yesterday.
Jerusalem. The FDA authorizing the first COVID breathalyzer test for emergency use at doctors'
A COVID breathalyzer.
and testing sites.
Is that what I just heard?
The rollout is expected to be gradual. There's going to be pretty limited availability at first, but it
So
does.
cops are going to stop you down and say, blow?
Well, no, that way you
You know,
don't just swab your
COVID's
nose.
about to die out. The third variant is less than, they're all getting weaker.
We are also learning of those.
Right.
Easier to spread the weaker.
Yeah, easily transmitted. It's going to be like the flu.
It's going to be like, no, it's going to be like a cold.
Well, maybe I make the flu that maybe you'll get a
There are
shot.
people right now who had the variant and didn't know it.
Yeah.
What happened to Pelosi? Nothing. Nothing. She's going to say it's because she was vaccinated. Yeah.
Have you seen what's going on with Dianne Feinstein?
No.
That even some Democrats are saying that she's mentally incompetent to serve as a senator because her memory and her cognition is not acceptable for a senator.
No, it's
covered
because
for
she's
Reagan.
too center.
Well,
She's not far enough to the side.
They covered for Reagan.
what?
I said they covered for Reagan.
Yeah,
That
Reagan
boy had
was
no
pretty short.
mind.
Yeah.
He was way sharper than Biden.
Oh, Biden.
No, I wasn't. I was talking about lady. who was
Yeah,
talking
but they also don't want her in there because California is too liberal and she's not liberal enough.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So in other words, she's pretty good at what she does.
She actually listens and yeah. It had to do with one of the Supremes that's before, and that's when they started the
Oh,
telling.
really? So I would love to ask this. You know, they asked the new Justice Jackson, our definition of a woman, and she wouldn't answer. So I would love to say, well, when President Biden said,
Isn't that a shame when we can't even define a
Right.
man or a woman without
Wait,
being
but then you
accused of
say, well,
hate?
when President Biden said he was going to nominate an African American woman to the Supreme Court, what did he mean?
That would be the question.
Wouldn't that be right?
Sure. But you can't answer the question anymore without offending 50% of the world. That's the problem.
Well, like I've said on the show many times,
You know
I've
what?
delivered
I
several
think
thousand babies,
it's
and they
far
were
less
all
than
boys of
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's probably 5%.
I never had a problem determining the sex of a baby. They're either boys or girls. And now on your passport, you can just check X. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
But I have something to say about that too. I don't think they should have sex ask anybody. It doesn't matter. Unless it's medical. There's no reason when I'm getting an airline ticket, there's no reason when I'm going to a concert, there's no reason, because they want to know Mr. or Mrs. Miss, there's no reason whatsoever. I mean, there's just no reason. Just take it out of the fucking equation. Who cares? And why, for a passport, do you have to have sex? Why? Why? You have an ID, and it's you. What do you care? With a picture? What do you care? I just never understood why you ask for sex. Why?
I ask for sex all the time. I never get it.
Well, in the senior home, this old woman would go and open her robe like that in the room and say, super sex. And the men would look, and she'd go, super sex. In this one room, she says, super sex. She said, I'll take the soup.
I'll take the soup.
For conservative and libertarian minds meet. Join us weekdays at 2 p.m. right here on 630K.
Early.
Huh?
For a matter, it's not early.
So you flying solo today on this?
For the most part, there was had a little startup problem. Did on Tuesday as well.
Oh, good.
Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino is here, welcoming you and solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. This I hate talking about. I hate talking about it. This woman, Irene, I know what she's going through, but I don't know what we can do about it. I'm going to ask others for suggestions now. We thought if you called customer service and talked to a real person, it might help. I want to explain this situation the best I can, Irene, for the sake of time. I just want to talk about this. You, years ago, you wrote a book and you put it on Amazon. You had an account with Amazon, and they never sold anything. It just laid there dormant, and somehow that account was closed, or you stopped using it. It went dormant. It's just totally innocent. Then, a few years ago, you wrote another 2 books, and you thought, you know what? I'm going to start promoting myself better than I used to. I'm going to take these 3 books. I guess it's a total of 3 now, right? The 2 plus the 1.
4 now.
Oh, 4. Okay, so you wrote 3 more, and so then you say, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to promote myself better. So you opened up an account on Amazon and put your other books up there, along with the original book. That's easily understood. So then you get a notice that basically, Irene, what they said, you violated Amazon terms by having 2 different accounts. And because of that, we're going to close both accounts, or one was already dormant. We're going to close your account, and we're not going to allow you to make any sales, and we're not going to pay you any royalties, and we're not going to print any books on demand. And basically, you're invisible to us. We're erasing you. And not only that, you can never come back. Never. So you said, wait a minute. Obviously, here's what they thought. They thought that you were selling someone else's book, maybe, honing in on their account or whatever. Who knows what they thought? But the letter was quite severe. So therefore, you wrote to them and said, give me some more consideration. And they said, we reviewed the information you provided and reevaluated the relationship between previously terminated accounts and your current account. And our evaluation process takes multiple criteria into consideration, by the way, accept the truth, when establishing relations between accounts, and we take action based on those criteria. Upon further review, we are upholding our previous decision to terminate your account and remove all books from sale of Amazon. Having multiple accounts is a violation of our terms and conditions, and we are confident that your account is related to an account that has already been terminated. Oh, wait, I never heard about this before. Wait, I never realized this line. We are confident that your current account is related to an account that had already been terminated due to violations of our content. Oh, wait, that's the first time they didn't like your first book. They did a book burning. They did a good old-fashioned book burning on you. They took your first account was terminated by Amazon. So when you tried to open up a second account, they saw it as a sneaky workaround. I didn't notice that line. Therefore, you will not be reinstated. Please note, you are not permitted to open any new accounts forever. You'll never receive future royalties for additional accounts created. Okay, you have been erased. You have been erased. So I asked you to call and talk to a person and say, listen, opening up a second account was a mistake because my first account I had forgotten all about. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I erred. That's not why you were terminated. You were terminated due to content restriction. That's what it is, content violation. That's what they're saying. I thought you were terminated for having two accounts. They said you're terminated because what you were trying to do is go around their decision to ban your book. That's really what they're saying.
Do you think so?
I really believe that. Oh, read the wording. That wording, they don't write things willy-nilly. Think about this. Listen to this. It says, upon further review, we are upholding our previous decision to terminate your account and remove all your books from sale on Amazon. Having multiple accounts is a violation of our terms and conditions, and we are confident that your account is related to another account that had already been terminated due to violations of our content guidelines. So you wondered why your previous book never sold. The reason it never sold is because it was banned. That's the issue.
Okay, now let's think of my side of this. They have never, ever explained why.
They don't have to.
When it happened.
They don't have to. Just like, hold on. Facebook bans people for content. Twitter bans. This is the new world. Twitter bans people for content. Everyone does. And you basically, they're saying they don't like what you wrote.
I'm not the only one writing about affairs. Let's face it. Look, I write, and I write well. There's no. Okay, another question. They haven't only done this to me.
Right here. Listen, here's an article. Amazon is banning books and films they don't like. Amazon doesn't define what it considers unacceptable. It simply takes the action.
What is this? Really?
I'm telling you that one book, a former Amazon bestseller, When Harry Became Sally, Amazon banned these books in the past. Listen, I'm telling you that there are many Americans have come to rely on online retail more than ever, but Amazon has openly signaled that they will not allow certain views on their platform. The problem is, yours is not one I would think they would ban. How to have an affair and get away with it. You would think they would like that. I'm serious, because what they usually ban are books about conservative things. No, really. I'll bet you. Can you find Trump's book on Amazon? Our Journey.
I wouldn't look for it. I wouldn't look for it.
Well, I'm not asking you to. I'm just asking if they would have it on Amazon. And by the way, you should be just as pissed off that they would ban his book as you would banning yours.
Okay, Tom, let me say something. I did speak to two people yesterday. I did get them. Thank you very much. He gave me that phone number. The first one, after I spoke to him and explained the situation, and he asked me questions. After all that, he said, I can't help you. We don't deal with that. So he said, you should write them an email. I went, no. I said, I've written 3 emails. I've gotten the same computerized answer. I want to speak to someone. He had me hold
By
on.
the way, they are selling Donald Trump's book. They are selling his book.
Well, they're not selling mine. Then I spoke to another person that went on, and I take shorthand. I wrote down what he said. He said, we can't get to you. We can't help. There's no one to speak with, he said. And then he said, I'll cut to contact again the KDP.
But no, you were making, Irene, I understand. Listen, and I hope you're as good as listening as you are taking shorthand, because here's what I want to tell you. You were attacking it on the wrong front.
No, I can't get through to the royalty people. He told me.
No.
He said the only way.
Irene, when you listen to me, you're going to make progress. You were attacking the problem on the wrong front. You were trying to explain that you innocently opened 2 accounts and you had forgotten all about that other account, or you didn't have the login for that previous account. They are not banning you for that. They are banning you for content, and the fact that you tried to open a second account to get that book back on Amazon pissed them off. If you don't see that in your letter, then you're dead wrong. That is where you attack it. You ask for a reconsideration of content. I would not even address the 2 accounts. I would say, I need to know why my previous book was banned. I understand that your content guidelines may have changed over the last 15 years. It is a book very similar to others you have, and then find others listed on Amazon about having an affair. I'm serious. I'm really trying to help you.
There are other books up there, many.
Then what you need to do is you need to point that out, because they actually have a practical advice for cheaters and spouses having an affair. They are literally publishing rules for cheating. Do you realize having an affair, a handbook for the other woman, listen, you're right about it. Now what you need, but they banned your book for content. It said that in the letter. It said that we are confident your account is related to another account that has already been terminated due to violations of our content guidelines. You need to attack it on that. That book, you need to know why, and put it up against those others. Because you, by telling them, I mistakenly opened a second account, they're saying, yeah, we know that, and we know they're connected, and we didn't want you the first time. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
Listen, did you tell the truth? Because I didn't notice that. Did you notice that thing that said that your previous? Because I asked you what happened to your previous account, and you said you didn't know.
No, they're never specific enough.
Well, this letter's pretty specific. We're confident that your account is related to an account that has already been terminated due to violations of our content guidelines. And the only account that you had previously was the one with the book, How to Have an Affair and Get Away with It, which violated, they're saying, their content guidelines. And what I tell you happened is this. When you put that up there 15 years ago, it violated their content guidelines, but they have since changed their content guidelines. And I think that is how you have to attack it. There's no other way around it. I swear to God, there's no way around it.
I haven't heard that until you read it.
They're saying we banned your other book.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to get it back up again.
But now it stands a chance of getting up.
Why doesn't she understand that? It's as clear as day. And she just won't accept it.
Well, it just takes her a minute. She's still trying to digest it, I think. Because she doesn't believe her content can cause, a flag.
I think that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Joe Lazara. He's a criminal defense attorney that I hope you never need. But a DUI, that's a criminal offense, along with a motor vehicle offense. And you will need an attorney, and you don't want to shop for one when you're under pressure. Now, of course, you can avoid DUIs. There's all kinds of ways. Don't be silly. But if you're in trouble, you made a stupid mistake, falsely accused, whatever it is, Joe Lazzara, 303-429-6200. Free initial consultations and flat rate pricing. Look for Joe Lazzara on my referral list at referralist.com, 303-429-6200. Another attorney I highly endorse, BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Blake Harris is with a firm that does estate planning. He's an expert that will give you free legal advice if you call him. Ask him what you need in your circumstance. Maybe all you need is a will. Maybe you can avoid probate altogether with a beneficiary's deed or a payable on death certificate or something else. If that's the case, he'll tell you. He'll quote you rates on what he can do for you. But there's no charge for the call. 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
So many people.
I'll bet you that woman does not believe me.
Mm-hmm. No, she also belongs. She's been writing for a long time, but she belongs to this writing club. Didn't they say it was like the erotic writers club of Las Vegas? Or
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah, yesterday.
There may be a phrase or a paragraph in the book that triggered their objection.
I'm
not
sure
just
there
the
was.
content, the title.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's amazing, right? People don't want to hear what they don't want to hear.
No.
Thomas, it was so clear what he was saying, and she didn't want to accept it.
It says in here, Amazon uses machine learning, automation, and dedicated teams of human reviewers.
It's like someone brings a car into your shop, and you say, this is the problem, and they say, yeah, but, and they don't want to hear what the problem
No,
is.
we do it all. It happens all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Save 10% on Benjamin Moore Paint by joining the Guy Reed loyalty program. Stop by a store or go to GUIOYS.com to sign up today. Guy Reed's, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loan.
They advertise too much. They're going to get a tune-out factor. Ideal is going to get a tune-out factor.
Oh.
So is Navage, hopefully.
There's a tune-out factor.
Yeah, you just hear it so many times. Yeah.
They will work with you to optimize your credit. Even if you're approved, they can do small tweaks to your credit, like paying down a certain card or moving certain balances to get you better pricing. They also pick your term loan. You can pick any term you want, 10, 11, 12, 13 years, 18 years, 20 years, 30 years. If you pay it down, you don't have to go all the way back to 30. They also have a rate guarantee.
I've never had a problem before titling a car in my corporation. Now, the insurance company wants to know why.
Well, I'm trying to insure a car.
Why is it titled in my company's name?
Because my company owns it.
It's a company work car.
Company car.
All my previous cars have been. I've never been asked this.
They're just messing with everybody this year.
Oh, insurance is weird. We had a little fender bender at the shop. Filed a claim, first claim in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be reevaluated to be reinstated now. So they sent us a cancellation notice effective 2 weeks or something, you know, and we can try to be
By your insurance
reinstated.
company?
By the insurance company.
Because of one little claim?
Yeah. It was about $8,000. Maybe 10. But the guy's car, he insisted on insurance. You know, fine, I'll file a claim. Yeah. So we pay them, I don't know, 15, 16 grand a year for 3 years without a claim.
And they're gonna get.
And now they're gonna basically raise the rates is what they're doing.
Yeah.
So they'll be happy to reinstate it. Just
Right. You're supposed to have insurance but never use it.
Yeah.
According to the
Oh no,
company.
and I agree. I do that. I pay for most of it. You know, I get one of the big windows broken. I don't call the insurance.
Right.
I just call the glass guy. You know.
Start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info.
But this one was going to run out some time with rental cars and everything else. And that's why I just didn't even want to. It's like, yeah, I'll file a claim. Here's the adjustment number. You guys figure it out. And it was our fault.
Yeah.
You know, my guy was not paying attention. He was moving a car that had no brakes and it said it had no brakes. And he hit a car. And, you know, it happens.
So, my Martino capital fund that I've been developing over the last 4 years will be licensed and up and running by the end of the year.
So can I give you $100 to invest?
You can laugh all you want, but I've averaged 48%.
Wow.
Fucking bar none. So
Well, I'll give you more than $100 then.
no, but you should experiment with it. And I can't guarantee anything, but I'm
Well,
telling you,
of course,
I
I
have
asked
done
you-
this. In fact, I will give you, if you want, here's what I can do. This is better than any fund will do. I'll give you a history of trades.
Well, past performance is no guarantee of future results.
No, but
That's what we say.
hold on. But through this volatile market,
Yeah.
the lowest we've gone was 38.
Wow.
Seriously.
No,
Wow.
I'm not kidding, Kevin.
No, I didn't
This
mean
is
you were,
my
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
I mean, I put a lot of my own money in this because of this thing this kid developed. And he's a kid I knew like this high. You know, and you know kids that are, well,
This report is
goofy
sponsored by
genius.
Indeed.com.
My biggest problem will be keeping him. But that doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, there's very liberal holds. They're not going to be like years and nothing. This is just in and out.
Showering your company with open job
But
Check out Indeed. They're all in one
when people say, I want to see, I'll just give my trades. I just look at them.
all in one place. Sponsor your first job today.
I don't have time to do it, but this fund is working. And it's a very simple concept, 0.25% a day. That's it. That's all we want. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I'm Tom Martino. We have Kevin with us, Kevin Calkin from Sheridan Auto Tech, talking cars and anything else you want on your mind, so give us a call. Right now, Walter's here. Walter, go ahead. What's going on with you, Walter?
Yeah, I've got a car that just won't start. It's a 93 Ford Taurus SHO.
How, 93?
Yeah.
That could be it.
No, I've had it 22 years. It's running okay.
So, okay, all of a sudden, one day you go and turn the key. Does it turn?
No, it won't turn the starter.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk obvious. When you turn the key, do you hear a click?
No.
You don't hear anything.
Well, all the instrument lights and stuff come on in the instrument panel.
And then when you turn it to start it, what happens?
Nothing.
Do the lights go dim?
No. I turned the headlights and dome lights and all that stuff on. It's got juice in there. The only thing I'm looking at is what I want to know is there a way of hooking something up to that starter to see that if it's
getting juice?
Sure.
Yeah, if it's working.
Yes. Now that you said it's an SHL, so that's a manual transmission, isn't it?
No, it's a transaxle.
Well, it's manual as opposed to automatic. You have a clutch?
No.
Because the SHO came with a 4-speed. But yeah, you can try putting it in neutral, try checking your grounds and different things, but you can use just a test light at your starter to see when you turn the key. It should light the test light.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. That what am I saying? I'm lost here. That button that you push and won't start. If you turn the ignition to the first click or whatever, then you put it in neutral, then it'll start, and then you can go. But it's not doing that. I was just wondering if there's some other blockage in this.
Kev?
Well, the first one is what they call the rain switch, which is the neutral safety switch. That's the first stop. Check, see if there's power there. But you can jump right to the starter. There's 2 wires, one big one where the battery comes down, a battery cable. The smaller one is a signal from, the other component. If you're turning the key and that little one is lighting up, you more than likely have a bad starter. If you're not seeing power there, you got to go backwards. About 3 or 4 or 5 different things can cause it.
If I'm not seeing what...
If you're not seeing power at the small wire on the starter when you turn the key to the start position, have somebody turn the key while you're holding it.
It shows the battery.
I understand, but down at the starter is what you asked.
Where would that be on the instrument panel?
It's not. It's under the car. It's bolted to the motor.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. So why don't you just bring it into you can't take it into a shop.
It'd have to be towed.
It'll have to be towed. What does it cost to tow cars in? for someone like this?
It's $100 to $150 a tow now. Yeah.
Well, there's one other thing that goes wrong with that, because I have a '93 Chevrolet Silverado 4.3 or whatever, and I was out in the parking lot and whatnot, and it just died, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it or whatnot. I was run out of fuel, or the battery went dead, or whatever. But turns out, come out of there, the bearing in the alternator froze, and the engine wouldn't turn over. I was just wondering if
seen that a bunch of times. Yep.
I was just wondering if that happened to the alternator on this.
Entirely possible.
But then looking in the owner's manual and whatnot, the electrical part with the starter and relay and all that stuff.
It could be so. Let's not put it this way, okay? It could be so many things. My goodness gracious, think about it.
It could be a $5 part that you spend $150 to tow. Absolutely, yes.
What would happen if you just tried to jump it?
I'm so cautious with it because that electrical part where the alternator and the starter are, it must have 15, 20 different things. It's cautious, warning. If you hook those wires up wrong or whatnot, you got problems. So, I know somebody's got some instruments that I just wonder, if there's any other thing that would block that thing from starting.
Any other things?
Well,
he just told you everything, basically. Okay, let's go through it. You could have a bad ignition switch. Let's follow it through. From the switch, you could have a bad connection, including a ground. You could have a bad battery. You could have a bad starter. You could have a bad solenoid. So that's everything.
And you can have a broken wire between any one.
Right. Well, that's more unlikely, but Kevin is uniquely set up for that with his electrical department along with everything else. And I'm not trying to drum up business for him. I'm just saying, man, this might be something too difficult. But what I do when I trace electrical is I trace it's very logical. I go from the power, and I go from power to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. You trace the circuit, it's called. You go right, and the switch, which is the ignition switch, is in the middle. That's the first thing you check. Yeah. Then you energize it, and then you check how far out power goes and where it stops.
Yeah.
And really, you can do it yourself. Yes, I can do it with a voltmeter, but not many people can. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, and especially with newer cars, because it's not apparent where the circuit is. In fact, some of them are addressable circuits through solid state, so you can't find it. I mean, you just can't. They're weird. They're computerized circuits, so it's not like you can say, "Oh, here's the wire," and follow it. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. 303-713-8255. Daryl, what's happening, Daryl? Daryl?
Okay, Tom.
Hey, man.
I have a question, Tom, about, in general, has nothing to do with me, but I think it's going to affect the economy. So, today's tax day, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
God, you had to remind me of that.
So not everybody, but most people.
It's actually Monday.
Stimulus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they got their stimulus, and then some people, maybe not most, got their child credit every month.
Right.
So they're not going to get that back on their taxes because they already got it.
Right.
So the stimulus, is that taxable?
No.
And the people that got it weren't working, right? So if they're
that's not true at all. Everybody got it. I got it.
Okay, but
everybody got it, bro. Who told you? Who told you only the non-working got it?
I'm sorry, I misstated it. Let's just say some people got enough that they quit working. They didn't work no more.
Oh, come on. Really? $1,200, $1,500?
Between the unemployment on top of it.
Okay, so anyway, go ahead with your premise. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay, so my premise is the people that didn't work, let's just say the people that sat at home, got their stimulus, their kids got the stimulus, they got the stimulus, they got it 3 times over, they didn't work. Okay, now, when they go to file their taxes, they didn't have any withholdings because they chose to stay at home with the unemployment and this and that because they figure for whatever reason they're going to make more money. So now they go to file their taxes. You just said the stimulus is no income, right?
That's right.
Okay. And then they didn't work.
Right. So they don't pay tax. You're right. You're right.
Okay, so are they going to get money back? Because most people,
Yes.
when they file their taxes,
Yes, they
they're
are.
waiting to get money back.
Yes, they are. They're going to get money back. Yes.
Okay, and because of
Doesn't that
what?
piss you off? That because
Well,
if you don't make because there's an earned income tax credit that you get if you're of the lowest of the low filers.
Okay. So they're going to get it.
What are we trying to? What are you trying to say? Basically, I don't know what you're trying to say. I want you to say it, but I don't know what you're trying to say.
Well, so I got educated today because I'm thinking people want to get their tax refund and they're going to blow it on something, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, if they don't get the child tax credit, which to most people is like what, $2,500 a person, are they still going to get that credit? I mean, the ones that got the $300 a month, they already got it. They're not going to get it, right? Because they already got it.
Well, that's true. If they already got it, I can tell you, yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now they're not going to have the money to spend. Is that? I mean, in my premise, I'm thinking they don't have the money that they would normally have to spend, and it's gonna have a ripple effect. That's just my
Okay,
premise.
I see what you're saying. Boy, you took a long time to say that, brother.
Sorry, I'm just.
No, I know what you mean. What if by shifting the benefit to an earlier time, they're not going to have it during a time when they really need it, which is going to exacerbate the coming recession.
Right. What's your thoughts? You think that's going to affect the
Yeah, I do.
overall picture?
Oh, for sure I do. Yeah, of course I do. I think all of this plays into it. All of it does. I mean, the inflation, the lack of employment, the lack of workforce, the supply chain, it all works in to the coming recession that we cannot stop. It's going to happen, and it's going to be a doozy, and I'm not happy about it. But
I agree with you, Tom.
It's going to happen, but thank you for lightening up our Good Friday. More coming up.
Why is Good Friday a federal holiday?
It's not.
Well,
It's not.
Okay.
But everyone takes it off.
Emancipation Day in Washington, D.C. is what closed Washington, D.C. It's not a federal holiday.
Okay.
It's a Washington, D.C. holiday.
It's a Kawiki Day.
Yes.
Yes.
Just happens to be on Good Friday this year.
I know banks are closed.
Banks are closed?
Are they?
No.
Oh, I would.
No, they moved tax day from Friday to Monday because of
think
Washington,
banks are
D.C.
open.
Okay.
Banks are open.
Because banks are closed because the Fed's
Oh,
closed.
the feds are closed. Is that what it is? Yeah. Maybe you're right.
I would think so.
Yeah. What, do you got to get to the bank? Okay.
Although I am one of those oligarch guys, so I can't use my ATM card today. to
Why
get
burn
cash
that?
out.
I can lend a couple hundred if you need.
Okay.
No, it just ticks me out because I got mobile deposit. I use Chase for my business.
Yeah.
And they got such a cap on there that checks aren't clearing fast enough where they like.
You might be able to get that raised.
I tried, and then I'm going to change the account and do this and that. It's just like, you know what, if I change it, I'm moving it.
Yeah.
You know.
Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. If you're looking for a home and you want to be a cash buyer, go to Ideal and get a pre-approval. That'll put you in line with cash buying because then you can go out and shop for a house knowing the money's set aside for you. They also have the interest rate guarantee. If rates go down for any reason for over the next 2 years, they will refinance you free of charge, even if they go down by just 0.75%. That's the interest rate guarantee. Not to mention all the other benefits like pick your own term loan, credit optimization, and everything else they have in a company that's been in Colorado since the early 2000s, serving Colorado. Brent Ivenston's still at the helm, a company I know and trust, and you can too.
Call them today and start your conversation. Rates are still relatively low, especially for those with high interest debt to pay off. They can teach you how to do that. 303-867-7000, 867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Every day, I hear about people who are pissed off at contractors because they put money down and did not get anything in return, or they got poor and shoddy work. Well, you're going to have a wonderful time if you have any outside work you need done, from the roof, siding, painting, gutters. You have windows, doors, decks, and it will be done by GenesisTotalExteriors.com and Mark Szymanski. I've known him for many, many years. I trust him around my home and for other jobs and for referrals. Genesis, 303-679-8509, including solar, with a 25-year warranty on components and performance. 303-679-8509.
As we age, we can't always
plan on good health, but you can plan long-term care coverage to get peace of mind to you and your family. Hey, it's Mandy Connell, and a great
It's funny, that guy had a good point about the returns and the refunds and stuff. He just completely around the block to get there.
No,
Yeah.
do 2 extra miles.
There was a thing on the news last night. They're trying to hire 10,000 more
Yes.
IRS agents.
And they have offers out to 2,500 right now.
And you don't even need any experience. They'll train you. Sure. It's just, all you have to do is say no. Not approved, not approved, not approved.
And don't answer the phone, whatever you do.
Right.
Yeah. That phone's supposed to ring off the hook all day.
Peace of mind long-term care coverage gives you.
No, if you behave yourself, they're easy to work with.
Yeah, I've never been audited.
Once, that was the worst 6 months of my life. Complete torture.
That was pretty good. When I had my practice, we didn't do anything that was crazy on taxes.
Yeah, they told me I was pure randomness, and I don't know.
Just got picked out of the.
Yeah.
The only thing we ever did was
What's been more to improve
sometimes we kept cash and didn't report it.
medicine for personal hygiene.
Just have a little spending money.
Yeah.
But considering
Never
the
admit
bathing
that.
went
Yeah.
mainstream in the
I'll never admit that.
1800s,
Oh, no.
brushing your teeth in the 1900s.
No, in the end, my accountant, I've known her for years and years. She prides herself on 0 returns. So in other words, or audits. So in other words, you get audited and you owe nothing when you're done. She said, good. This agent basically offered for 2 different years 50% off for my vehicle expenses. I would owe them about $3,000. And I was just like, hell yeah.
In one nostril.
And my accountant's pissed that I did it. She's like, no way. We're not paying.
And out the other nostril, flushing out mucus.
If you would have told me 6 months ago, pay me $3,000 and this audit's over,
You do it.
hand it to you. So
Can't write that check fast
I
enough.
don't know. But it technically we didn't owe anything, but that was kind of they just threw a bone just to justify 6 months.
Well, I was
Because we keep it clean.
every $100 that I stole, not stole, but that I kept in the report, I gave the girls each $20.
There's no statute of limitations on this. You're advertising.
That's all right.
Okay.
It's going out over the air.
Yeah.
So that way they could report me because they were as guilty as I was.
That's right.
Graft.
I don't even see cash anymore.
I know.
Very, very rare.
Well, we had co-pays.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
I mean just for paying for repairs and this and that.
Right, you don't see cash. No.
Nobody uses cash.
We didn't see cash at Lexington, but
Everybody's
for
got a
$20
card.
copay, people would give us.
Yeah, we used to have people come in and pay us, for big jobs years ago, where they were, stuffing, 20s or 50s trying to get money to put an engine in a car or something, They'd come in with their shoebox.
And you don't take checks.
No. So many problems with it. Yeah. And unfortunately, the easiest thing to do is just eliminate them.
Yep.
Because they got to take yours, I got to take yours, or else,
Right.
back and forth. Yep. Okay. Simple, no checks.
It's the Dan Kaplan Show. Afternoons 4 to 6. State Representative James Williams is challenging Doug Lamborn in the 5th District GOP primary for U.S. House. Current 4th District Congressman Ken Buck is looking to help flip the House red. Both join me, Ryan Schuman, right here on 630 KHOW.
So is Biden's approval rating lower than Trump's ever was?
I don't know that.
I mean, he's at 33%.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John, welcome to the show. What's going on, John?
Yeah, I have a quick question. Your last caller sparked my question about, I have a backup car for my kids and myself. It's a 2007 Nissan Altima, and I keep it around just for emergencies. But I do drive it like twice a week for only about total of 10 miles just to keep things cooking around in it and the battery charged. But it finally did. The battery did die. Would only driving it 10 miles a week not charge it enough, or something like that? And the battery's only about a year old.
You beat me to it. That was my next question. Yeah, it could be a defective battery, because I think the 10 miles in a couple days a week is more than enough. Maybe once a month you put an hour or something on it, but nothing. I think you're pretty good there. Yeah, I would question the battery.
What I got was a kind of a cheap Walmart. Not cheap. Obviously, they sold it to me. So, kind of the lowest grade Walmart that I could get.
Sure. Yeah, you may just step up the grade a little bit, get that one warranted. It came with a warranty, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Yeah. Just exchange it out and upgrade it a little bit. They'll give you the money back on that and towards a better battery. That's what I would do.
You would think that 10 miles, once again, it's just, 10 miles a week would keep it fairly charged enough.
Yeah, and there's a lot of variables with weather and everything else. Extremes, cold or hot, will affect the battery. But, you may add a day in and do 3 days a week instead of 2 or something. But I would upgrade the battery.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you. 303-713-TALK. Is Dave a new comment on line one, or is he the one? Is he? Okay, Dave, you have a comment on the IRS and stimulus checks. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tom. Happy Easter, first of all.
Thank you very much.
I think I heard you say that you got a stimulus check. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, not everybody got them, and it's hard for me to believe at your income level you got one.
Well, I don't know why I got them, but I did, and then I had to report it, and then if they want to take it back, they take it back. That's how it works.
I'll be darned. No, I didn't get any. And,
wait a minute, Dave. How old? Wait. What do you mean you didn't get any? Everyone got one. Kevin got one. Deputy Doc got one. We all got one.
No, that is not true.
Well, Dave, when you when you fill out your taxes and you put down that you did not get one, you will get it.
Well, I got my taxes back already.
You didn't. Okay. There was a question on your taxes, Dave, as to whether or not you got a stimulus check. How did you answer that?
No.
Then if you answered no, then it was accounted for in your refund.
I'll double check that, but okay, I'll check into that, Tom. I appreciate that.
No, Dave, I'm not an expert at this. I'm telling you what I have been told by experts.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I didn't ask that question of my tax man, but I'll look into it. I had no idea I would get one. I didn't. I thought that was all based on income level.
Okay. It's not. Now, I remember thinking that it was going to be, but they gave it to every taxpayer. Therefore, people don't even file taxes. And if they didn't get one, they had to file just to tell people they didn't get one. So they would get it. That's how they handled it. 303-713-8255.
148. 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
You holding up over there, Dollar?
He's doing a great job.
We're good.
The system hasn't crashed.
The system's been down for 3 hours. He's been waiting for it to come back up.
Yeah, that has actually happened to me before up in here.
Yeah, it's been a real easy day.
Yeah. No, that's frustrating.
Yeah, just wait for it. Just watch another little spinny thing going around and around. Yeah.
That's a frustrating day because Mark has been looking at you like, oh yeah. Oh
Are they traveling? They're in the RV?
Not yet.
No, they're out in Vegas for Meg's birthday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she told me that.
Big 5-0.
Is it really?
For Mark, yeah.
Youngin.
You said you act 12, you look younger. Yeah.
Let's talk about Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. He's offering free market analysis of your home. What that means is he will come out, look at your home, measure it, take pictures, do comparables, and let you know what it will sell for based on his 27 years of experience. It's a very detailed report to let you know if you should stay put, maybe fix it up or sell it. Your choice. No obligation, though, but he'll do it free of charge. And you won't find anyone better or more skilled. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Broncos fans.
Steve Atwater. Wow. I wonder why they're doing him now. Because he's been out of it for a while.
Because he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, what product is he endorsing?
Steve?
No,
they're talking about a documentary about his life.
Oh, really?
He's a good man.
He's a real good guy. Yeah.
Hi, Greg from this morning, the Mercedes guy from Mercedes Westminster is on the line. He was wondering if maybe a deputy could call Westminster Mercedes.
Yeah, and we will get no answer. They suck, but yeah, we can.
Which
What does he
deputy?
want him to? What does he want them to say though? I mean, he didn't have a problem that needed to be, as I remember, he didn't have a.
He was helping his.
Yeah, but what did he want? Because they sent the car somewhere else and got it fixed. So I don't. Okay, I'll ask him what he wants, but I thought it was solved.
It was like the 250 for
Yeah.
Diag or something.
Yeah,
right?
oh, exactly.
that.
That's
Yes.
what he.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Which,
he-
if they use this Diag moving on, he doesn't get it.
I'll bring him up. Is he on?
Yeah, he's on hold if you want to talk.
Yeah, put him up and I'll
Okay.
just tell him.
Okay.
I mean, actually, it was a wrong diagnosis. So.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Right, we're talking about the fuel
Oh
pump.
no, it wasn't.
No,
that was
that was the other one. Yeah.
Right.
No. It was the right
Mercedes
one.
computer. Yeah.
It wasn't the one with the catalytic.
No.
Oh.
It was the one. It was the right diagnosis. You're right. It's just that they didn't like it took so long. So I don't think they have a. I don't think they have a case here.
Not really.
Man, but you're right, Kevin. You do something, you own it.
Yep.
You
I
own the
know it
company.
only had a lifetime warranty, but meet the guy in hell next, 20 years from now, he's still trying to get you to fix it.
I was lucky when I delivered babies. I only had to give an 18-year warranty. They could sue me up to 18. The baby could sue me up to 18 years. Or the parents.
That's not true, right?
No, it is true.
Really?
The
For
parents
a
could
birth-related incident.
Once they were
up to
18,
18, then they could sue me. But before they were 18, the parents could sue me.
For what reason?
If there's something, let's say, a delayed diagnosis for something.
You say the distinction between the child becoming a.
Luckily, it never happened.
Yeah.
I did that.
But no, we get it all the time. It's like, I just had the work done 3.5 years ago.
Right.
You can't use the word just and then 3.5
Right,
years. That
right.
doesn't,
People like to use that
And
word.
I know your warranty is 3 years, 36 days, but, there's no buts on the end of that phrase. It's 3 years,
There's a
36
period right there. You see it?
It says whatever happens first. But,
We're here for you and all the ones who get it done. 24/7 customer support and access to product specialists to help you find what you need. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by.
what's worse, when other shops try to, bust another shop, in other words, for silly things or something, and they get the customer all tuned up,
Mm-hmm.
and then the customer comes after you. And
About something totally
yeah.
unrelated or.
Yeah, we're dealing with one now. Our invoices don't have part numbers on them. Our internal ones do, and our estimates do, but the customers doesn't. We chose to do that years ago.
Doesn't have a part number.
Doesn't have a part number next to the description.
Okay.
So the other shop is looking at this car for the customer, 3.5 years, later, is saying that that's a sign of a crooked shop when they don't put part numbers on their invoice.
And then your
And then the customer comes
you
back.
pull your original
Yeah, it's like,
invoice
how
and say,
do I
what do you
know
mean?
that this is actually what you sold me when you can't put part numbers on there? You guys are playing games because the other guy told her that. That kind of thing.
Tom Martino here. And Century RV, by the way, is a great place to buy RVs. And they're one of the people that resisted hiking prices and having a shortage of supplies. I don't know how, but they have a lot of RVs to sell, whether travel trailers, fifth wheels, or motorhomes, or customized like vans, and also cab overs over at CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111. It's exit 240 and I-25, basically, on the frontage road there. They have great prices. They'll buy your outright your old RVs because they're selling so many, or they pay excellent trade-in values. CenturyRV.com, CENTURY. Now, Greg, you you called in earlier and you said you were pissed off, and I didn't blame you. Your friend's Mercedes ML250 was at Westminster Mercedes, and when it was there, they said she needed a computer chip, and she waited 5 weeks. She got so frustrated, and they said, hey, if you want, we'll buy the car. And they gave her a cash deal that was bad. You said it was worth more, but that's neither here nor there. But the bottom line is that you took it somewhere else, or had her take it somewhere else, and they got it fixed immediately. And you think that Mercedes-Benz of Westminster, which, by the way, is a terrible dealer right now. They have gone downhill tremendously in the last 6 months, or 1 year to 6 months to 1 year ago. You think they did her a disservice on purpose, trying to get her to sell her car. But let's get to the bottom line. You want the diagnostic fee back, but I don't think that $250 was money wasted, because if they did a diagnostic for $250, she really did need the computer chip. So their diagnostic was not inaccurate.
Yeah, but she spent $1,932 in a rental car all this time waiting for the part to come in that Mercedes-Benz Westminster said wasn't available.
Okay. So how does that entitle you? But how does that entitle you to a refund of the diagnostic fee? By the way, I think they should give it to you out of the inconvenience and the lies. But technically, they did a diagnostic that was accurate.
And I agree with you. I think in just trying to be a stand-up company, that they should give her the $238 back in the diagnostic fee. Once again, dragging this out cost her $1,932 in rental car fees, and had I not found another...
Wait a minute. It cost her $1,900 in rental car fees?
Yes.
Maybe you guys ought to consider small claims court against them, because you can prove that they were lying about the supply. Let's revisit this. If we'll walk you through the steps, or do it yourself. But Kelly, make a note. Let's revisit this. SheridanAutotech.com. Thank you for being here.